Yo, what's up? It's Elms, owner of Extreme Custom Kicks. If you want a unique pair of shoes, something different, make sure to call 214-306-1513 and follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Extreme Custom Kicks. You want to stand out from the rest? Come to the best, Extreme Custom Kicks.
Hey, Elms, I got a flat tire. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the show today.
Oh, man. Just call my boy CJ at Great Days Tires, Mobile Tire Shop. We bring the service to you. Call CJ at 214-552-4414. We sell tires of all sizes, new tires, installations, balance, and rotation. Tire plugs are available.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. Lil' Flip in the building. Hey, Money Elms, you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Elm Street, the hottest podcast. And all that cash and money Elms pockets, it look like thigh pads. He talking trending topics, he ain't no carbon copy. We talking sports, music, and fashion and other options to get us out the hood and keep that paper coming. And I smoke cones, not backwoods, I'm about to blaze an onion. These rappers flexing on the gram and they got fake cheddar. This intro was provided to you by Flip Mayweather. That right. Yeety, yeety, Money Elms, what's up? Yeah, Lil' Flip in the building, screwed up clip. Welcome to Elm Street.
Yo, what's up? What is going on? Welcome to Elm Street. I'm your boy, your host, Money Elms, man. What is going on, man? It's a great day out here in Dallas today, man. Got some chill weather. Just finally getting out of that cold, and it's some springtime weather. But here in Texas, you know, them rains come with that springtime. So not too long ago, we was having some tornado warnings and stuff like that. I know last night we had a couple disturbances with some storms out here, man. But other than that, you know, we're good. We're living. You know, it's a great day out here in Dallas today. And let me go ahead and introduce my guest, man, my special guest, man. We got Juan Catalan in the house today, man. What is going on, man?
What's up, brother? Happy to be here, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure, man. My pleasure, man. So, you know, funny story. So earlier we went to go have breakfast. We were over there in Uptown, and we're having breakfast, man. And, man, we almost got attacked by bees, man.
Oh.
I mean, I'm driving, and next thing you know, I start spazzing out, just kind of like that meme video. I don't know if y'all seen that reel where the dude, he's like, man, people say you look like Steve Harvey. Yeah. And then homeboy, he puts the phone to him, and then he sees a spider crawling, he starts smacking himself.
Yeah, I have seen that.
It was similar to that. You know, I was driving, then next thing you know, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, Juan was like, hey, you all right, fool? What's going on?
Now I was just like, man, where'd it come from, that wasp? I was like, dude, but you were right, man. It almost got me too. Like,
yeah, we had to stop in the middle of the road, and
I said, let me off, man. Let me flick this thing off, man.
Man, that's crazy, man. I'm telling you, certain unexpected things happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. How was your flight? Good.
It was good. I mean, for the most part, smooth flying. When we started descending, it was a bit bumpy because of the weather, I guess. You know, right? A
little bit of turbulence.
Yeah, it had quite a bit of turbulence, man, coming in, and it was just like shaking. I hadn't felt turbulence for a minute now, but I mean, it was all right.
So it was good, no problems.
Yeah,
just
no
landed.
problem. Yeah,
Cool.
Got in at the scheduled time, and got in to second time in Dallas. Now I'm getting a better feel for the city,
Okay, so let me get this right. Your second time?
Second time, man.
First time. The first time you
First
got here?
time was 2 years ago. I was here. I watched the Dodgers win the World Series, man, right here in your backyard,
wow.
bro. Yeah.
So let me ask you, how did that feel to watch your Dodgers out here in Dallas?
Man, that felt like unreal. Like did that really happen? Because I even saw, because we had the pandemic and everything. Yeah. It was just like social distancing. They had it was weird, man. Some of the seats around us were like zip tied, so you couldn't sit there, and food was limited, and all that. So, I mean, I remember when the last out went out. I came with my two cousins, Fidel and Pablo, and like we looked at each other, and everyone was like looking at each other, like, is this real? Like, is this really happening, man? Because as Dodger fans, we've gone through a lot of pain. It had been like 30-something years since a World Series, and the Rays were a really good opponent, man. And I don't know, when Urias got that final save, bro, that was just a beautiful thing. And man, I think I might have had a tear coming out. I FaceTimed my son.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful feeling, bro. It was an amazing feeling to fly from LA, which I think the game should have been in Dodger Stadium. I don't know if it was an away game or it should have been at Tampa or LA. But anyways, to fly into Dallas and then to that Ranger Stadium, that's a beautiful stadium, man.
And then they had just opened it up.
Yeah, just opened it up, man. I mean, when we came in, actually, that time when we came in, there was like a storm going on, man. It looked like a hurricane when we flew in.
Yeah.
And we got to the game about second inning because my cousin messed up on the timing, and he thought it was 3 hours behind the time difference.
Yeah.
And dude, it ended up being like when we landed, the game had just started. We're like, bro. So we had to get our luggage, and then we got the Uber and got there about the bottom of the second. But
what y'all do with the luggage?
As soon as you went in,
So you had to go to the room first?
Oh, we had to go to the room first. Yes, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. And so, but we're all prep for this hurricane. As soon as you walk into the stadium, bro, take your jacket off. It's climate control, beautiful stadium, man.
Wow, and then
So
more beautiful to have the Dodgers there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We were just right down the street, and we were next to the Cowboy Stadium as well. Just
how did that feel?
Oh, come on, man. Now you're teasing me, man. I'm a Niner fan, so. But hey, man, that Cowboy Stadium's impressive. We walked in. We wanted to do the tour, but it was the monster truck weekend or whatever. So they told us, you guys can go around, but the turf is not there. And we're like, nah, we don't want to.
Okay.
Because I'm told you can stand at the 50-yard line. Can you?
I've never taken the tour.
Oh, that's what I'm told.
I believe so. I believe
you can stand at the 50-yard line.
They take you all around. I even believe they take you to the locker rooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's an in-depth tour of the whole stadium.
Yeah, nice.
So that's pretty cool.
That's cool, man.
But
yeah, that was my first trip to Dallas, man. This is my second.
That's cool, man. Well, hey, we're glad to have you here, man.
Thank you, brother.
You know what I mean? Even though this city's like, I'm adopted in this city. You know what I mean? But hey, this city has treated me like one of their own.
Yeah,
when I tell people, it's like, hey, they ask me, hey, where you from? I was like, do you want to know where I'm originally from, or do you want to know where I stay now? And they're like, well, where you originally from? I was like, well, I'm from Cali. And then they're like, but how long you been here? I was like, well, shit, I got here in 94. No, you're Texan.
No.
He's like, so,
Yeah, but you got that West Coast in your heart, though.
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
You got that West Coast.
It beats daily. You know what I mean? Never forget
West,
where
y'all.
home is at, man. But we're gonna jump right into these topics, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. So right now we have normally I would have Kanye West. We would do we would do the Kanye hour.
Oh my gosh.
But hey, somebody else gave me some more material that's more juicier. So hey, I had to jump on it first, So
man.
Let me ask you, what do you think of the whole the slap heard around the world?
Dude, I didn't watch it live.
Yeah.
But I was told about it. And I go, nah. When I heard it the first time, I go, that's gotta be a joke, right? And went online and saw that, man, and I was like, wow. I still didn't believe it, man. It felt Will Smith, who's this guy, he's one of my favorite, actors.
Yeah.
I love his movies. And then Chris Rock is a funny dude. And to me, I'm thinking they're brothers, they're in the industry and all that. But, once you see the entire clip, bro, like, damn, like they weren't playing, man. Chris Rock made a joke, a G.I. Jane joke. And I don't know, it was kind of weird because, you saw it, right? Will Smith looked to be laughing.
Yeah, when he was saying those jokes.
When he was saying the jokes. But then, I don't know, all of a sudden, Chris Rock just said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And he walks up and just smacks him, slaps him, bro.
When I first seen it, to me, it was like, oh, shit, they must have had some type of skit that they did for the Oscars.
For publicity, right?
Yeah.
That's
well,
what I thought.
it didn't even cross my mind to think, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
First thing that I did, I was like, oh, this is some type of skit for the Oscars,
Right.
you know, Chris Rock and whatever, being a comedian and whatnot. But then I was like, then when it got to the, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Twice.
When he said it the second time, I was like, I had the same reaction that lady had that was right behind him. I was like, whoa.
Lupita Nyong'o, I forget her name, but she's
she had this look like
whoa.
Oh, well, this is not scripted. So that look told me, whoa. And then he got more, you could tell he got even more serious or got angry about the situation.
You know what? And then I started thinking more about it, and I'm like, I didn't know what was crazier, that Will Smith got up and actually pimp slapped Chris Rock, or Chris Rock keeping his cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because,
dude, like, bro, somebody comes up, you're joking, you get pimp slapped. I mean, your normal reaction is to, to react.
It almost seemed like Chris Rock didn't react like right away until he started speaking back and forth when he started when he started
cussing and all
yeah,
that?
when he started cussing. Once he started that, then Chris Rock was like, "Oh, this shit's real."
Yeah, I know. I remember he said something like, when he said, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," he's like, "All right, I will."
Yeah. So I mean, I was in shock. Like,
and then a little deeper thought was like, did Chris really? Because comedians, they're geniuses, bro. If you think about it, the way they say things. Because when he said G.I. Jane, yeah, I know the reference to the movie, right? But who was Demi Moore? Remember, she was also cheated on her husband, Bruce Willis, at the time with Ashton Kutcher. So I'm like, damn, did Chris Rock? And I don't know if that was what really set Will off. I don't know. It was
that's crazy you say that, because I know what you're talking about. And yeah, and then you had Will Smith and Jada with the whole entanglement issue. So yeah, it's crazy.
That was
if you go deep into it,
bro. You never hear any like. At least I can remember. I mean, the Oscars. I'm not too big fan of them, but I don't remember some scandal like that ever.
They were saying that the Oscars kind of had taken a hit on ratings. So
yeah, I heard that too. So that's why they said that they did it for publicity or to bring up the ratings.
Yeah, that's what and then so I thought it was real. So then after further analyzing the video or the videos, because different angles of the incident started surfacing up.
Oh, really?
Popping up. Yeah,
I didn't see that.
So you have different angles now that you can see. So I seen this one angle, dude, where Will's like this and they pause it. His hand is way back here, and Chris Rock is already like
bracing for the hit.
He's like
damn
bracing for the hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that kind of looks suspect. Like, was that part of the whole scene, the acting?
Hey, and then Will Smith ain't a small guy. Like, he's a strong dude. He played Ali. Man, that dude, Will is ripped. So, I'm surprised you didn't see any teeth flying out there, man. But, man, that's crazy.
But they were saying that there's a clip that surfaced where Will Smith is teaching actors how to fake slap somebody.
No way.
So they're comparing that tape to the slap he gave Chris Rock. And they're saying that, I don't know, it's starting to look very suspicious that it might just have been a whole hoax for, ratings. Because, Kanye, and Kim Kardashian, they're experts at doing that.
Yeah, right.
They do stuff to ump the ratings on their shows or ump the sales. Yeah, controversial sales.
It sells, bro.
Jerry Jones always says that there's no such thing as bad publicity. It does the same thing.
Controversy
whether it's good
and sex, man, it sells, bro.
Sure does, dude. So I don't know. I'm feeling. A lot of people say that because if you also look at the tape when Will's laughing at Chris Rock's jokes, then the camera you could also see Jada right there in the same picture.
But she's like pissed, right?
She has this look like, I can't believe this dude's on stage or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he delivers the joke, she kind of even gets more bothered by it.
Yeah, her eyes roll.
And then at that time, Will Smith is over there like laughing his ass off, like, ha, ha. Thought it was funny. So when then the camera goes off of them, a lot of people think that she might have,
It was her reaction that caused him to do that.
Yeah, she might have looked at him like, "You asshole,
You
you're
better
laughing."
do something. Though. You laughing at this?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that look set him off, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. You could just imagine, your wife, you're somewhere, and you do something,
I know, right?
she's gonna look at you like,
That was tough, man. And then to watch him, accept, that's crazy that he won, Best Actor for King Richard. And then just, him bawling, bro. That was just, I don't know. I felt bad, seeing him,
yeah.
all that stuff that, the quote that Denzel gave him and, that he was put on this earth, to be a light and all this stuff, which I believe. I mean, Will Smith has done, great things. So, it kind of sucks for me. I like him as an actor. A lot of people, they're like off the Will Smith train because of that. But
I mean, let's say that whole deal was real. We're human at the end of the day.
Yeah,
We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all get out of line, out of character. Because we make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I understand the joke. His wife is going through her illness, and
yeah, I didn't know that about her, that she had a medical condition. Like
Yeah.
I had seen her like cut her hair, and
mhm.
I've seen women do that. Some women.
I mean, it's not the first time that I believe she's had cut her hair off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
So I seen it,
I
but
thought
I didn't
it was
know
just-
that.
Yeah.
So I kind of get the sensitive part of you don't want to joke around with somebody's they're dealing with health conditions, but comedians are that's what they do, man.
Chris Rock said that he didn't know
Yeah.
that she had some type of illness
Oh,
or was
really?
going through that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he made the reference due to her haircut looking like
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
Because in the cover, Demi's, she
Right.
has her head shaved.
Right.
So I guess that's the only reason why he made the comparison. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
apparently Jada didn't think it was funny.
Not at all. That
But-
picture, her face says it all.
But then then you have like you said, people are over here choosing sides already.
Yeah.
People are Team Will, Team Jada, Team
Yeah.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Everybody's going crazy talking about if that would have been The Rock. Will Smith would
With
have
The
slapped
Rock,
him. Yeah.
Will gonna slap him like
He would have slapped him. He would have lifted up the eyebrow.
the eyebrow, body slam Will right there on stage. Oh man,
Give him the people's elbow. The most
Could you imagine
electrifying
that?
move in sports.
at the Oscars, bro. The people's elbow.
Man, that would have been electrifying.
Oh man,
See, that would have gave ratings.
Oh,
that would have
man.
gone straight up. Like,
That's
did you
funny.
see Rock?
That's
He gave
funny.
him the people's elbow.
Oh man, the Rock rip off his tuxedo and he's got his speedos out
Speedo
there
right there.
with the Rock with the
bull right
the
there.
Brahma bull, huh?
That would have been a sight to see.
Yeah,
I would have
for sure.
definitely would have been beating myself up for that one. Like, man, you missed
I
it.
missed it.
It's The Rock.
I had forgot about it that they were even on, but
Yeah, and
you
so
know, the news traveled
and
and
everybody started talking about the Oscars. So like, apparently, I guess it did work.
mhm.
And then they were saying that it was a publicity stunt because Will has the new Bel Air come. That
Is that
series.
coming up too? I thought it was out already.
Yeah, it's
Or
already
is it
out.
just
It's
it's already
already
out.
out. So
But just,
they're-
I hear you to bring ratings to it.
Bring ratings to it because I'm pretty sure they'll after the first season they'll pretty much bring out a second season.
Right.
So I guess they want to make sure
Depending on
that.
the reaction from the audience, right?
And then también they said that Chris Rock he's on tour.
Hmm.
And that after the slap around the world,
His tickets are going to
all
sell
his shows sold out.
because they want to hear him what he's got to say.
Yeah.
I don't think he's said a word, has he?
I mean, he sent out an apology.
No, Chris Rock.
Yeah, he sent out an apology.
For joking on Jada.
Yeah, that that's where he said that he wanted to apologize because he didn't know she was suffering from some type of illness
Yeah, that causes
or
your hair to
sickness,
fall out,
whatever.
yeah.
So, but then there's also the 2016
Hmm.
Oscar shenanigans that he did when Jada was boycotting the Oscars because
Really?
I guess that year I believe no black actors and actresses got nominated.
Uh-huh.
So she said she was gonna boycott the Oscars,
Hmm.
and then Chris Rock attacked her about it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
I didn't know
I
about
can't
that.
say. Let me rephrase that. Not he didn't attack her. He
Yeah.
just made another joke.
Yeah.
Said that's stupid that you're gonna boycott the Oscars
Hmm.
because you didn't get invited. And then he said, it's like me boycotting Rihanna's panties.
Yeah.
I didn't get invited. You know what I mean? So
You know what? I did hear about that. Now that you say that, there was a backstory.
yeah. So there was also, and he did a whole montage about Jada at the Oscars.
Uh-huh.
You know, because I think he was the host that year.
Uh-huh.
So
he went off.
So they're saying that it could be stemming from that. That Will still had it in the back of his mind.
Oh, I see.
So, you know, we're 2022.
They were pissed off already at him.
Okay. I remember 2016. I got you.
Yeah.
Boom. Madrazo heard around the world.
But see, that what gets me is just Will Smith's demeanor at him laughing at the jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But, you know, even that walk, the walk up to the stage.
Oh, the way he walked, huh?
It just seemed, I don't know, to me, after, like I said, seeing it for the 100th time.
Scripted?
It looks very scripted.
No.
You know, down to the even the way he walks back. I still, you know, when I first seen it, it didn't look real to me. Like I said, until the second keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, that looked real.
Damn.
And then it's crazy because there was this picture with all the different celebrities' reactions when Chris Rock got slapped. I guess people were ready, and you know, to catch all the reactions is almost like
how does that happen?
Everybody must have been in sync. Hey, when the slap happens, make sure you're aiming the camera at some celebrity so you can catch the reactions.
That's crazy. Yeah,
because I mean, everybody see Mel Gibson's reaction. I forgot what's that actor's name. He actually comes out in this movie with Sandra Bullock's with Murder by Numbers. He's I think his last name is Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
No, it's not Brad Pitt. I forgot his name. He comes out in that movie, Murder by Numbers.
Haven't seen that movie.
But anyways, he was over there laughing. You know, like
when that happened?
Yeah, when it laughed, his reaction was a laugh, like, oh shit. Like he thought it was funny, you know. Everybody else was like, you know, had this shock look, like they weren't ready for it. And I'm pretty sure, you know, they were caught off guard just like the rest of America was. You know, because, you know, I didn't find out, like I said, I didn't watch it, so I found out the next day.
Oh, no, I watched it that night.
Oh, you seen it that night?
That night, but not the show, but the
clips.
The clips. I was like, wow, did that really happen? Like,
so you actually got to see it a little bit right after.
I'm telling you, like, I was like, what is this? Like, what joke is this? I thought, you know, but, you know, after I see it, I was like, damn, man, that didn't look like a joke. But, you know, who knows? Time will, I bet if, you know, see what happens.
Yeah. So, let's, you know, we're moving on. So, what was your take on the 49ers? As far as, like, I wanted to ask you that personally, as far as
the season?
Yeah, the season. You know, they made it that far.
I mean, I don't know. We had, you know, the season started with, we had high expectations. And, you know, Jimmy, you know, Garoppolo, I like him, man. He's our quarterback. And, you know, he's a quality, he's a competent quarterback. You know, he was behind Brady for about 2-3 years, I think. Won a couple rings. And, I mean, we like him, man. I should say, you know what, I take that back. Most 49er fans like him. Because he's injury prone. And, you know, these players that get injury, you know, all the time, you know, it's like, all right, man, get rid of this guy and put in the next. But, you know, our season was like a roller coaster, bro. We started off, you know, I think we won our first 2 road games. And then we lost our home opener against Green Bay. And then, you know, it just from kind of there, it just continued that way, dude, up and down. And, you know, we had Debo come out. I think Kittle, you know, was out a few games. So for the most part, it wasn't looking too good for the season. And then, you know, we started getting some of these players back, and they started getting some momentum, bro. And, you know, we made it into the playoffs as a wild card. I was there at that game, man, at SoFi. When we beat the Rams. That was an amazing game. We were down, 20-something points? And to watch that comeback, I took my son. That was the first time I had taken my son to SoFi. And I got to tell you, man, he was heartbroken because he's a Niner fan. 10 years old, he's already a diehard Niner faithful. And I remember I looked over at him, And he was just like, man, his head was down. And I told him, son, I go, if you ever remember one thing from me, just remember that you always got to believe. So, being a fan is not only you're there when they're good, you got to be a fan when they're bad. So you got to believe. And I kind of gave him the little pep talk. And my final question to him was like, so are you going to believe or not? He's like, I'm going to believe, Dad. And man, we hit halftime. We come out on the third quarter, score a touchdown. I think we get an interception, score another touchdown. And all of a sudden, we're tied up. Man, my son was like, Dad, he got so happy. I got, so excited. And, to watch them, we went into overtime, we tied it up with them. And then we win it in overtime. That was an incredible feeling, bro. Because we were already out because Atlanta, I think, had to beat New Orleans. Mm-hmm. If not, if we lose, and then if Atlanta lost, mm-hmm. that meant that the Saints were coming in. So the Saints smashed on the Falcons, but because we beat the Rams, man, that put us into that final wild card. And hey, man, I'm sorry. I don't want to bring it up, bro, but you know where I'm going next. I mean.
Go ahead.
Oh, man.
To your
we came into Dallas, bro, and broke your heart.
You didn't come to that one?
No, I didn't come to that one. No, your brother was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I had just went to that final crazy game, and I'm like, man, I'd have to travel to Dallas. I didn't know anybody that was going. I didn't feel like coming out by myself. Mm. And then, we beat you guys. And then I actually booked a flight with my cousin to Green Bay. That was another game.
Lambeau Field. How was
Lambeau
the Tundra?
Field, bro. Hey, man, the Tundra is real.
It's real.
And I'll tell you this, I never want to do that in my life again, man. Never, ever.
Never?
It was 11 degrees, and the wind chill made it feel like 0.
0.
Like up until that point in my life, I think the coldest I had ever felt was like maybe 25, maybe 28, and that's cold. But man, bro, I had like 3 layers. Brother, I had 3 layers of clothes on. I had 2 pairs of thermal socks, the snow socks.
Yeah.
And I had a ski mask. Good thing my cousin thought of that. A beanie, mm-hmm. gloves, and I was still cold, man. Our feet were numb. I'm like, how's this even possible? One thing I got to give it to the Packer fans. I mean, we go at it. We've gone on to them. I think Aaron Rodgers has ever beaten us in his career in the playoffs.
So.
In the playoffs, he's 0-3, 0-4, and I'll give it to the Green Bay fans, man. They're gracious. When we went to the Super Bowl in 2019, it was Packers at Niners in Levi's mm-hmm. at our home. When we beat them, that was a blowout, man. We beat them 40-10 or 14. It was a blowout.
Yeah.
Dude, Packer fans that made the trip from Lambeau to Levi's were coming up to me and my son and congratulating us, bro. Like, who does that? Like, that's the way it should be. Better team won. Congratulations. It sucks. Your team. It hurts. It hurts, man.
It hurts.
Kobe. I always remember Kobe too, man. Kobe hated to lose, man. But, these Packer fans were gracious over there in the game. They see me shaking and they were giving us hand warmers. Hey, man, those things work, man. Put them in your glove. My hands started sweating. And, I like drinking beer. My cousin, we drank 0 beers at the game. We're drinking hot chocolate. That's what we're drinking, man. We were drinking in the bar before the game, but no way in hell.
You should have some Irish cream or something,
brother,
to give you that extra kick.
Maybe we had somebody there with us, but we're coming from LA. We have from Cali. We had no. But it was that was another game that I couldn't believe we won. And I was joking with the fans. I was joking in Tinseltown, I think is what it's called. It's kind of, it's like a group of bars right outside of Lambeau. It's nice. Mm. Their setup is nice. And I was just teasing the Green Bay fans. I'm like, man, how's it feel that, you guys, 80,000 fans are going to go home sad today? And they're like, no, we're going to win. We're going to win. I'm like, all right. I was all Ninered out. And yeah, man, we shocked them again. But the Rams got us, man, by 3. So, I mean, my heart was broken.
So you know how I felt.
Yeah. I think you texted me right after you said, welcome to the club or something, Yeah. You're watching my...
I had to give it to everybody, because I think I think my team went down first, and then it's funny because my other cousin, he's a
What
Raiders fan,
Uh-huh.
and then my brother, he's a 49er fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I'll be waiting. I tell everybody, it's like, I'll be waiting. There's be plenty of room. So when your team loses, you can come sit next to me. And sure enough, one by one, it started happening. I was like, hey, it's all good. We're all here together.
Yeah.
That's what matters. So.
Think about it, man. Every season, there's one fan base, one team that's happy. That's it. That's hard. That's hard, man. We haven't won a Super Bowl since '94, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that sucks.
Y'all made it. Y'all made it to y'all had a Super Bowl appearance with Kaepernick.
We went to 2 Super Bowls like in the last 10 years and 2 NFC championships, but you don't win it all, bro. Nobody remembers second place.
Hey, well, that's further than my team's made it in the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, I don't want to even go into these Jimmy G cowboy jokes. I'm pretty sure you don't want me to.
Yeah. So, let's move on to something else, man, before I get upset here. So yesterday, when you touched down, you caught the Laker game.
Yeah.
How was that? The first time in
oh man,
the Mavericks arena.
First time in Mavericks Arena, nice arena. I'm giving props to that. Nice court. I mean, the game was when I heard that because I mean Anthony Davis AD's been out for seems like forever.
Oh yeah.
Then I got word that LeBron wasn't playing, and I was like, damn, man, I was so bummed. I mean, this was my first ever Laker road game, and I know it's weird. I don't know. I never thought about it. I've never traveled with the Lakers. I've traveled with the Dodgers and the 49ers all over the country, and I'd never seen the Lakers on the road. So I was like, man, well, here to see my cousin. I go, man, Lakers are in town. I go, no way I'm going to be in town. I told you. Yeah. No way they're in town, and I'm not going to go.
And I'm not going to go.
But, LeBron's out. AD's out, man. I go, this can't be good. And, I got blown out, man. Oh, what an ass whooping that was. I mean, Luka, Luka's a monster, man. He's a big dude.
You know what's the good thing that I tell a lot of people? I was like, when I see both of the teams play, I was like, at the end of the game, I'm still not going to be all the way mad because at the end of the day, one of my teams are going to win.
Yeah. You can't lose.
You know what I mean? I be telling people, I was like, hey, they're like, you can't do that. You can't root for 2 teams. I was like, yes, I can. Watch me.
I know people that do that too. It's like,
got to root for, the home team and then, where I'm from. So, I give love to both cities. You know what I mean? Because to me, at the end of the day, they're still special to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, one's your home and one's where you're from. So I definitely get that.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to see the Mavs, and I mean, it would have been better if the Lakers would have won, of course.
Yeah, of course, man. But Dallas fans were talking a lot of trash yesterday too. So
oh, really?
I shut them up with one line though. I told them 17, baby. That's the championships we got. 2 Dallas has won, but
how many?
17.
Yeah. Hey, I used to get people with that line too, with the Cowboys though.
Oh, with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
like what do you guys got? 5 titles? 6?
Yeah, we got 5.
So do we. Man, we're tied for 5.
We're tied.
We're tied. See, there we go.
Yeah,
just adds to the excitement, bro, when we play.
Oh yeah.
We hadn't played you guys in a minute for the playoffs, at least.
Well, this was the first one since
for a while.
Yeah, for a while. So
10, 15, 20 years.
They have history too.
We have history. Yeah, I know.
So y'all like rivals when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, when we had Joe Montana and Steve Young, man, we had to go through the Cowboys, man. Troy Aikman and Emmett, and
little inside secret that a lot of people might not know. See, I used to be a Raider fan. I used to be a big Raider fan.
No,
let me tell you
man.
why. Because I love Bo Jackson, man.
Bo Jackson. Yeah,
Bo Jackson was
Bo knows.
Shit, man.
Bo knows.
And then when he got hurt, and next thing you know, they're telling me the Raiders are moving to Oakland.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, what's going on? So I feel like my team was stripped away from me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, okay, let's back to the drawing board. I technically don't have a team, and I was not going to root for the Rams or the Chargers.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I started rooting for Joe Montana.
Yeah.
I was a 49er fan for a minute.
There you go. So you got that right.
Steve Young,
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, T.O. when he was awesome. You know, so
Ronnie Lott, man, we have legends, man. Hall of Famers have worn that uniform, bro.
It's funny. What's his name? Charles got to be on both teams.
Oh, really?
Well, he was a 49er.
Oh, yeah, Charles Haley.
Yeah, then he became a.
I think he won a Super Bowl with both too. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he did.
I know he won one here in Dallas.
And he won one in with us. It might have been that last one too, the 94. You guys won in 95, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys got it 1 year after us, but
I think we did back to back, didn't we?
But that was earlier in the 90s. So I think you
yeah.
guys did like 92, 93.
Yeah, 92, 93, you're right.
And then I think we got it. We got 94. We might have broken up y'all three-peat.
Yeah.
And then you guys got us after that one.
Mm-hmm. So
but
we could have got a three-peat.
You know, there's mixed emotions, bro, in LA because of that, what you were saying about the teams, man. Like when, you know, our cousins, Louis and Miguel, they're the ones that showed me and my brother about Super Bowl. I was like, Super Bowl, what is that? Like, oh, we went to go buy a little Fritos, a bag of chips, and a little 6-pack of soda. And, 10, 11-year-old kids were watching Super Bowl. And I'm like, what is this? And they started teaching us about football. And who was there? 49ers, baby. 49ers. We smashed, I think, the Bengals, that year.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I like this team right here. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice connection. It was a beautiful connection. And then, like, I stopped watching it for a bit. And then, then the Rams, come and leave, the Raiders, and you got the Chargers down south. And, we didn't have football in LA for what, 15, 17, 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
So in LA, man, you got everybody's, you got fans of everything. I got cousins that are Packer fans. I got cousins that are Raiders fans. Myself, I'm a Niner fan. I got Rams fans. You got Vikings fans. You got Seattle fans. You got everything, bro, because we didn't have a team to root for.
Cowboys.
Cowboys. You guys got a big following too, man. But that just it is in LA now. The Rams are back, and I'm gonna be honest, man. I felt like disappointed, sad when they won it because I'm like, man, I'm born and raised in LA. I'm Lakers, diehard Dodgers, but Rams, like, well, they weren't my team. I stuck with the 49ers, and I don't like jumping ships, man. So I stuck with it, and I got to admit that hurt, man, to watch the LA football team win, and I wasn't there celebrating, man. That was weird.
It's like watching the Clippers win.
They haven't won anything, but I guess you can.
You know what I mean? Because I don't like the Clippers.
Yeah,
it
sucks, right? Yeah, there's like a double standard because you're right. Because people hate the Clippers, but if you're in LA, you get shit from people that will be like, "Yo, you're in LA, but you're rooting for, San Francisco," or they want to assimilate that to like baseball. You know how Dodgers, we hate the Giants, but it's a different sport. And I don't know, man. Just like, rep your team, and, sports should be to have a good time and, talk trash in a cool way, man. Just don't cross the line. So, it just, that's the way I look at it.
Like the Raider fans?
No comment, man. No comment, man. You're gonna have to interview a Raider fan and ask them that. But I heard some crazy story about them Raider fans. Dude.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy because we got a chapter here in Dallas.
Raider fans?
Yeah, Raider Nation.
No way.
They are here.
Man, those guys roll. There's certain fan bases that roll deep. Raiders, Cowboys, Niners, Giants.
Because you're also a part of that Dodger group.
Pantone.
That
Pantone.
travels around.
Yeah.
So
I was telling your brother about that. Yeah, they travel all around the country, and thousands of Dodger fans. I've done Boston with them. That was dope, man. We saw Dodgers at the Red Sox at the Fenway Park. That was amazing. And then we did Atlanta, Dodgers Atlanta. Actually, the year we won it, that we went to go see them in Atlanta, or was that the next year? No, I'm sorry, it was the next year, last year when Atlanta beat us. So they have a beautiful stadium too. I've been, of course, like the local ones, like Anaheim. We did San Diego. Petco's beautiful, man. You should go out there. San Diego's a beautiful city. That baseball stadium is nice, and of course, we've done the Giants. That Giants one is intense, man. You just, just two teams that just don't like each other, bro.
And the fans don't like each other.
Nah, the fans don't like each other either, man. Like, you gotta, when you come to Dodger Stadium, man, you better come correct because LA don't play, man. And I know there's certain places that, you got to know where you're going, like New York and But San Francisco, they talk a lot of trash. I mean, in Dodger Stadium, I mean, if you like start cussing or something, and somebody tells on you, they're kicking you out, like no questions asked. And when we went to San Francisco, I remember last time, man, these guys were talking trash, like, man, I'm gonna kill you and all that stuff. And the cops were right there. They didn't do a damn thing. They didn't even wink or blink, nothing, man.
So in Dodger Stadium, if you create some type of
any type of like negativity, because they call it's a family atmosphere. So like if you
Vámonos.
let's go, you're out.
Zero tolerance.
You can make the greatest case in the world, you're still getting kicked out.
Wow.
So yeah. So you got to be careful. So, but yeah, the Dodgers, that's a real rivalry right there.
Yeah.
That's a real rivalry.
That's cool. So now I'm getting ready to ask you, what do you think of this current situation with the war? Russia attacking Ukraine.
Man, that's war. I know war's been around since the beginning of time, but there are no. I mean, in war, in my opinion, I mean, there are no winners, man. Everyone, lives are lost. Families are destroyed.
Innocent lives at that.
Innocent lives are destroyed. Both innocent and guilty, whatever you want to call it. And you lose your homes, and just things are just flattened, bro. It just is. I can't even imagine what those people are feeling. The kids, man, it breaks my heart.
Yeah,
the kids breaks my heart, man.
See, I think it should be like back in the day. You remember how them battlefields, them great battles, you had one side on this side and then the other on the other side, and then it was like charge. Everybody just.
That's like some Braveheart, gladiator type of. Yeah, you know what? You're right, man.
Hey, but like that, no innocents get killed.
And ain't no like nuclear, chemical, weapons or what, man.
Let's battle it out on the battlefield.
That's the way it is, eh? As warriors, yeah. I mean, that's what
you want to go to war. Let's go to war like that. I mean, so like that, no innocent people get killed, and cities don't get destroyed, and all that, it's just they should just have a way of doing that instead of just bombing these cities and watching chaos, man. All these people abandoning their homes.
Yeah.
I mean, just put your, I start thinking about it like, let's say it happened here in Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell I would go.
Yeah.
And just think about those people, they're not leaving to a different city or a different state. They're moving to a different country.
Yeah, but some people aren't leaving, man. That's their home, man. And I feel that too, It's like, man, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna defend my home, my country, man. It's just tough all around, man. Like, I mean, if what we're being told on the news is true, man, it's just like, I don't get the point of what the invasion is about.
Yeah.
Because the supposed, the reason for them invading is not, to fight,
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Nazis. I don't know what it's like, come on, man. You got these people, hardworking, just, trying to, build their lives with their families and everything, bro. And just to be, ripped apart, women and children were fleeing. The men weren't allowed to leave. And I get that, like, hey, man, you
gotta stay back and
fight. You gotta stay back and fight, man. Fight for your country. And I totally get that. So, but yeah, man, that's the world's full of negative events, negative people. So, that's I think every chance, not only myself, but a person has to put out some positivity or something that, motivation or something, man. That's a beautiful thing to do, man, because there's too much negativity out in this world, man.
And it's crazy because, my mom, she's, heavily religious.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever she gets a chance, she'll throw the book at me, she doesn't just impound me with the book.
Like
she'll throw it at me.
Tend to do, yeah.
And I remember she, being told back in the day, he's like, oh no, it's gonna get worse. I was like, you think whatever is happening right now in the world, you think that's bad? He's like, just wait. Just wait.
How old were you?
Oh man, I think I was like 8, 7 years old, bro. This is back in the day.
Dude, your mom, I guess, is like my mom too, man. My mom at like 9, 10 years old, what she would tell me? She'd be like, behave. And in Spanish, she would say, pórtense bien, which means, you guys got to behave.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, you know, you guys got to listen to your parents because the world's going to end. And I was like, what? What do you mean? The world's
Man,
going to end?
It just started.
I go, I'm a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you mean? It's going to end. My life is ending already. What? And man, now I grow up and I tell Mom, why you tell me that?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, you scared the shit out of me. Like,
This whole time I would wake up every day. Is today the day the world's gonna end?
like, man, I mean, what happens is people end, bro. The world keeps going, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, people and things end, man. Not the world. The world keeps going. God created this beautiful world, and I remember when COVID started, it was, I was saying it was, like Mother Nature just, rebelling, like, man, you're not taking care of the one place we have to live, and
Yeah.
the world's gonna be here. People, they don't know if people will be here, but the world will be here.
Yeah.
The animals will be here, but yeah, man.
So speaking of COVID, you been vaccinated?
Yeah, man. I got the first 2 shots.
I always ask my guests, like, hey, so let me ask you, you been vaccinated? Just trying to get their opinion about it.
Yeah.
What was your decision based on your vaccination?
Oh man, honestly, I didn't want to take them. I felt in the just the not sure skepticism category. Bro, I wasn't sure, the information. There's just so much information out there, man. And,
Yeah.
you don't even know what to believe,
What's real, what's accurate.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I'm hearing all this, the doctors are telling you to get vaccinated and all this. But then I hear from friends and people we know that work in the medical field, and they're like, nah, we're not getting vaxxed. I'm like, what do you mean? I go, wait, hold up. I go,
Yeah.
You guys are, the workers, you guys are the heroes working, the medical field, and you guys aren't getting vaccinated. Why?
Red
So, man, I was
flags.
always asking questions, man. And Todd, my friend Todd, who, he's a super smart and sharp guy. I always ask him questions like about politics and all that stuff. And, he told me, I trust him. And he's like, hey, you need to get vaccinated for yourself, for your family, and for your community. That's the right thing to do. And it took me like a day or two, man. But I'm like, I just said, you know what? I go, if it's for the best of everyone, my family, myself, and, for people at risk, let's do it. And I did the 2-shot Pfizer.
Okay.
I haven't got boosted up or any of that stuff. But, I caught COVID. I had a really bad case of COVID, bro. I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
Yeah, this was at the...
This is like early stages of COVID or...
Yeah, when it wasn't popular to have it. Because, then people started putting it out like if it was like a fashion thing. But I got really sick, man. I had like 10 days of fever, like relentless fever. So I lost like 15, 17 pounds, man. I couldn't even eat.
Wow.
Like I was just like asleep just to, have my body try to, fight the virus. And I'd wake up with my shirt just soaked, man. Drenched, man. I'd take off a shirt, put on another shirt. And I isolated myself from my family to protect them, man. I stayed in one of our bedrooms, man, for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Never got out there. I was driving myself crazy. Because a week before I got it, a friend of ours passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That shit really hit me. Because this was like in May. When did the pandemic start? February, March?
March, right about March.
So 2 months later, we were at my aunt's house, my tia Francisca's, and Tony's, and they had a little small, gathering. And our friend used to live down the street from where my aunt lives. And right before we pulled up, one of my cousins says, man, doesn't your friend live at the end of the street? And I go, yeah. Oh, well, an ambulance just came there. Like, really? Damn, shit, I hope everything's all right. And then, we just went back, we kept in the backyard, and, the hot topic was COVID. So we're all talking about it. And then my son, comes in and he like tugs on my shirt. And I go, what's up? He goes, Mom's crying outside. And I go, what? What do you mean? What happened? And I run out, and she's talking to our friend's brother-in-law. He's just bawling.
Wow.
And I looked at Alma and I go, what happened? And she says, Robbie just passed away. I go, what? She goes, yeah. he had COVID. And I fucking, bro, I was just like shocked. I was like, fuck. And, you know, his brother-in-law was just losing it, you know, understandably. And the kids were home. His wife, I think they weren't allowing her to the hospital. Bro, it was just chaos. So that was in my mind, bro. So fast forward a week, and then I start feeling sick. Wow. Like it started like with the... and I was like, man, I hope this ain't nothing serious. And my family's like, nah, he just, you know, slept with the window open. Nah, hell nah. That next day, that night, actually, I slept in the living room away from everybody. And I woke up about 4 a.m, man, with like the hottest fever I've ever remembered. I tried to stand up, I almost fell over. Like my body was just like so weak. And I remember I just went and got some Tylenol or Advil just to calm it down. And I told my family, I go, hey, I think I got this. I think I got COVID. Because, man, I remember, you know, I hadn't got sick for a minute. And especially fever, you know, a cold, flu, you know, it's rare that that I can remember as a kid, yeah. But, you know, as an adult, I really didn't get, you know, yeah, I got sick, but not like that. That was different. And sure enough, man, my family was still saying, nah, you know what, maybe it's just, you know, something. But it was already like summer, man.
Yeah.
And I went to go get tested and got the results. And yeah, man, positive. That shit shook me, man. When I saw that, when I opened up that email on my phone, it said positive. I called my mom and I tried to just like break it to her, but not like panic her. Bro, I couldn't even done it worse. I go, Mom, I go, don't get scared. I go, but I just tested positive for COVID. And she just started crying, like going crazy. Why my son and this and that? I go, hey, Mom, calm down. I go, yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I go, I'm still here. I go, you know, primeramente Dios, you know, God willing, I'll be okay. And yeah, I quarantined for 2 weeks, bro, and I couldn't eat. And I was so dehydrated, man. But, you know, my doctor and the medical insurance was amazing. Thank God that, you know, I have medical insurance and they had a COVID team. So if I had questions, like all I had to do was talk to the doctor, well, the nurse, and then if they deemed that it was, you know, needed to go up to the doctor, they'd take it to the doctor. And, you know, I've suffered with anxiety, bouts of anxiety, and I can't tell you how I was driving myself crazy. I actually had to go to the hospital because I felt like I couldn't breathe. Wow. But it was anxiety, man, because I told them that I honestly felt like I had an elephant on my chest, man. Like it was like that. And I was telling my family, like, well, man, I'm going to, you know, I don't think I'm going to make it. I was saying that's how I felt.
Wow.
And I remember I called the doctor and I said, hey, you know, because there were certain things that they were checking for. Your lips didn't get blue or, you know, you could still make sense, you know, complete sentences. Because they said that if your, you know, the oxygen levels or whatever fell too low, that affects your brain. You can't even think right.
Yeah, your brain don't get the sufficient oxygen.
Exactly. So I told them, well, I'm okay with that. They're like, well, you sound all right. You're having a conversation. I go, yeah, but I'm trying to lay down and sleep, and I just feel like I got an elephant on my chest. And they're like, you feel that? Come right now. And man, I suited up and walked out the back door, and I drove there, and I couldn't believe that was like such a surreal moment in time, man. Like, fuck, I go, there's a fucking, a worldwide pandemic. I got this damn virus that they're talking about. And now I'm driving to the hospital not knowing what's going to happen. You know, you think about the intubation and, man, I was just freaking losing my mind, dude. And, you know, I got there and they put you in that scary ass freaking tent where, you know, you see in that movie, I can't remember what that movie's called, but you're like, damn, I'm infected, man. Like, you're like, damn, I'm done. Yeah. They're going to lock me away and throw away the key. And, you know, the doctors, man, hey, man, God bless them. They're doctors for a reason. I remember this doctor comes over as cool as can be. And he's just like, okay, what's going on? And I'm like a million miles an hour. I'm like, doctor, I got COVID. I go, I just tested positive. And I started telling him everything. I'm like, I feel like I can't breathe. I go, I feel like I got an elephant. He's like, okay. He's like, you ever had anxiety? I go, yeah, I've had anxiety. Okay. And we're just talking. He's just a cool cat, man, as can be. And he's like, okay, I'm going to send you for x-rays, see how your lungs looking. And then, based off that, we'll go. And I'm losing my mind. And they send me into the closed off section of the hospital, because I'm pretty sure they did that here, right? That section's closed off. So they had to deal with the patient with COVID. And I took the x-rays, and I'm right there outside, man. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me something.
Yeah.
And then the nurse that had helped me with the doctor in the tent, I just remember seeing her come out, and she was, because they were like sending her to get like medicine and everything, because you couldn't go over there into the hospital. And I remember I said, excuse me, nurse. Yeah. I go, well, I'm waiting here. What happened? Doctor, she goes, oh, hold on. And then she goes back into the nurse. She's like, oh, no, you're fine. You can go. I'm like, what do you mean?
You can go.
Yeah. The doctor called me and said that if it wasn't that I had told them that I had COVID, they would have never even have known, because it said that my lungs were so clear and clean, bro. And it was just anxiety.
Wow.
They gave me some Xanax or something, and I went home, took it, thank God, and I slept like a baby. Like I don't even remember, like I was so tired. Mentally, I was just so drained, bro. Yeah, man. It was just,
I can imagine.
Yeah, that shit was, my family was relieved, and just, man, but, I pulled through, man. 2 weeks later, man, I was just crazy. That COVID's no joke.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy. Yeah. COVID has been a nightmare for some people, in the mental state. And,
all that, man.
Anxiety, depression that's came out of it. If they didn't suffer from that, they suffer from it now. It's crazy, dude.
Mental health is real, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
That's Kanye. He'll tell you.
Oh,
man. But yeah, that's crazy, dude, man. Well, we're glad you're doing well, man.
Thank
And
you, man. Thank you, brother.
we're glad you took the vaccine. It's cool.
Man.
I respect everybody's decision. I've been vaccinated, so I have my personal reasons why I did it. And everybody has theirs. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
We just gotta stay safe out here. And just keep on moving, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna, I guess, jump into the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people, you've been under a rock. You had would you say it was a life-changing experience or a traumatic experience? What would you label it as?
I would probably label it as a near-death experience is what I would label it as.
So there you have it. So you've been under a rock, he has an interesting story. And if you haven't seen it, his story is out on Netflix. It's called The Long Shot. And it's a 45-minute documentary. Gives you you would say that gives you all the details of the incident, or
for the most part, the main details.
The main details?
Yeah, the main details for the most part. Yeah.
So he's here today. He's our guest today. So we're gonna go into detailed about the incident and all the events. So we're gonna go ahead and just let's talk a little bit about your childhood. Where'd you grow up?
Childhood. I was born in LA, in downtown LA. I'm sorry, East LA, I believe it was. And my dad came from Mexico in 1976, I believe. My brother was born in 1977, and then I came the year after, 1978. So we were born in LA, and then my dad bought a house in suburbs of San Fernando Valley, which is about 20 something miles north of LA. Man, for the most part, I grew up there in the valley. Just a quiet kid. Our parents didn't, and my dad tells me this, they come from like little to no education. I think my dad only went to, I believe, the 5th grade. As crazy as that sounds. My mom to like the 2nd grade. And, just, I can't tell you how much I love them. Just everything, their sacrifices, everything they did for us. And, it's just, they were taught the proper, the methods of how to, raise a family. My dad knows one thing, hard labor, work your ass off, provide for your family.
Mhm.
But none of that of the, check on your child, how's school, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
are they?
Your typical Mexican family.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
'cause
That's what you see it in so over and over there in the community. And I was, for growing up, I felt like, pretty much on my own, even though, my dad always kept the roof over our heads. But in school, I was just, I don't know, man, I always felt like, like kind of like not misguided, but just like I don't know, like alone, and just not knowing what to do. I remember the looking at my friends in school, and they always had stories that they went to vacations, and my parents bought me this and that, and I'm like, damn. Like, I remember, and I hated when the teacher would ask us, what'd you guys do this weekend? I used to make stuff up, man, because
Yeah.
we didn't do much. But I hated to be called on, and I was like, oh well, we didn't do anything. But I started making stuff up. So and I was an okay student, through the years, and but it wasn't until when I hit my, I don't know, what was it, about 15, 16, that I started losing interest in school, and just started looking more towards negative influences, and street
hood
life. I
life.
thought which were cooler, which was, I couldn't have been more wrong. And my dad always did tell us, pay attention in school, but I didn't know at the time. I didn't know how important your education is, man. And I know some people say, education, it's not, and it's not, yeah, it's not a guarantee, but I guarantee you're gonna be better off with an education than without.
Without one.
Without, yeah. So I just stopped paying attention to about 15, 16. My brother was, and doing things he shouldn't have, and that kind of it gave me an excitement seeing that he was making money, and I wanted, I had just gotten a girlfriend, I want to take her out, buy her things, and I just said, hey, it's quick money, what's up? And before I knew it, I was in juvenile hall.
Wow.
In juvenile hall for joyriding. I had my brother would break into cars, and he'd give me the job of the driver. So they broke into him and just hot wired him, and I was the driver. I'd take him to wherever we needed to take him, and then they were just stripped of whatever parts it needed, and then just sold. And it was quick money.
Mm-hmm.
But I did, I found myself in jail, and I was just like, this ain't a way to live, and I didn't want to do that. So I kind of pumped the brakes on, I didn't completely remove myself from the situation, but I was more aware, okay, you're gonna be with the bullshit, just be ready for the consequences, because
Mhm.
I didn't want, for some reason, man, I'm on a short leash, and I say that because of the man upstairs. He's always, man, if I told you things that I've gone through, that every time I was either in danger or like in trouble, God has always been there for me, man. I believe that 100%. There are no coincidences in life.
Yeah.
And when I'm being bad, like, he's there to discipline me quick. So
Very
to
reality check.
like this, it's like, nah, you can't go that way. So I'm gonna give you this little spanking, but you need to snap out of it.
Mm.
And it took me a while, but for the most part, I did, like, I don't know, like 2-3 times in juvenile hall. I even got sent to probation camp, when I wasn't really, still hadn't got it, and thought it was, still kind of a joke.
Mhm.
But when they take you from your family, they, like, in total, I did like a year
A year.
in juvenile, man.
Wow.
But bro,
Was it a solid year or just different?
it was about I believe 3 months, and then months there, and then 6-7 months of camp time. I spent my 18th birthday in jail.
Wow.
I turned 18 in jail. I don't know what you did for your 18th, but I spent my 18th birthday in jail. My parents came to see me, and they brought me a cake and everything, food.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. In juvenile hall, you're allowed, because in prison and well, I don't know how it is out here,
So
but in the
in
county.
camp, were you out there in was it Sylvan?
Huh? What's that?
Sylmar? Was it Sylmar?
Sylmar was a juvenile hall.
Juvenile hall.
Yeah, that's where the juvenile hall. That was, and then if you did like, if you had anything like from a month to I believe like 2 months or something like that, something like 30, 60, 90 days, I think you were allowed to do your time there. But anything after that, you were sent to Challenger up in Lancaster, and that was like a I forgot what they call it, but that was like you got shipped there. Everyone got sent there, and then you got sent to whatever camp, probation camp, they sentenced you to. So I got sent to a fire camp. So here I am at 17 years old and skinny, 160-pound kid, and I got sent to this fire camp. And thank God that it was in Big Tahunga. I don't know if you remember where that area is.
Yeah.
Well, my dad bought a house. I think that might have been the first house that I lived in when I was born. And so I grew up, for a couple years up there. And the camp was like, maybe like 5-10 minutes up the mountain there. But I was thankful that, because there was kids that were being shipped to down south or a little bit up north. So it was an hour to 2 hours for their families just to go see them. My parents were only like 15 minutes from where I was. So I was happy that, but only your parents were allowed, nobody else. Because, you're a juvenile. You can't get any other visitors. But, that right there, I think I just said, okay, that's it. When I hit camp, I go, I don't want to live like this. And, after I got out of there, was it a year later, my daughter was born, my firstborn, Melissa. And I look at that as she came to save my life, because I remember when she was born, like I wanted to be the best dad I ever could be to her, to protect her, to guide her, and all that. And I think that she changed that inside of me, and then that's pretty much in a short summary how I grew up.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back in the day, being out there and coming through. My pops, I know my pops, he remembers telling you, because he told me recently, he told me a story where he said that him and your pops would sit outside the garage and drink. And then next thing you know, he's like, yeah, he said, yeah, your Tio Mario will go ahead and be like, hey, he would call your brother Mario, and then my brother be like, hey, okay, a chingadazos.
Duke it out.
Yeah, like start squabbing. And then, I remember certain incidents where I could say, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Because he would do that in the neighborhood. Later on, when I got a little bit older, I remember,
yeah,
my pops would make us fight all the little kids in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? One by one.
Yeah.
He's all right, y'all gonna fight my kids.
Yeah.
And the winner gets 50 cents.
Yeah.
So 50 cents.
Damn.
That shit was that was
you
some
did
money.
a lot with 50 cents back then. Yeah.
You could get some candy and play some video games, So yeah, so he told me a couple of times, like, yeah, and then we would put you against Juan, and then I was like, man, so I started thinking about it. I was like, damn, I must have been like real little.
Yeah,
and I was like, so what? I got my ass beat. He's like, yeah, pretty much.
I remember that. Yeah, Tio Tomas, rest in peace, would do that too.
Yeah.
And my dad.
So it's crazy because I'm thinking that's where my pops got it from. You know what I mean? Hanging out with the Theos. And then next thing you know, boom. Who was the entertainment of the night? That's crazy, bro.
What a family tradition now. Like,
yeah, man.
Let's get the little kids and all right, you guys going to box each other. And
there's no boxing on TV tonight. So this will be our entertainment for tonight.
I can't even my son, I don't think I'll be telling my son, unless, there's a situation and, he's being picked on or something. I'm like, but other than that, I'm not be like, hey man, go box this kid. My son's, he's a big boy.
Hey, those were, that's how I was growing up. And
I bet you they did that back in Mexico. I bet you that's what they did back in the ranch up there, doing the ranchos back there, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
So tell us, what happened that morning as far as when everything when you, I guess, found out what was going on? Because I mean, you didn't know what was going on until they came to get you, or
Well, I mean, the backstory, I don't know if you want to start a little bit further back. Well, I had gone to my brother's preliminary hearing because
Okay.
he got caught up in something.
in a situation.
Yeah, in something major. So he's fighting this murder case as well, an accessory to murder. And, he it took him a while this was a long case. I think it took like 2 years to finally see that through. And, but it had come time for the preliminary hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom has really, bad cases of nervios, they call it, nerves, just anxiety or whatever. And, my pops never misses work. So my brother's calling like crazy from jail. He's like, hey, I need some of the family here to, show support. Because, the judges and all that, it's looked, down upon. If no one shows up, it's like nobody gives a shit about you, So my brother's calling, and I'm like, damn, man, this a bitch. Like, my sisters are younger. My parents aren't gonna go. Who's that leave me? So I'm like, I remember I told him, like, all right, man, I'll show up. And I took Alma with me, and I took my sister, my older sister, and my good friend, my very good friend at the time. And we walked into court, and my brother's co-defendant had 2 cases that he was fighting. And then my brother's was like one of those. But see, the problem was that his attorney, who, some attorneys just, I don't know, man, how these guys get away with it. But, we try to tell him, like, hey, you need to sever these cases because, it's, we don't think my brother has, it's going to be very hard for him to win or get a favorable,
Decision.
a decision with the other 2 together. It was like bundled up, and the lawyer just supposedly he tried, man, but they moved forward that way. So I was like, damn, that was a big time blow. And anyway, so we're there, on the preliminary hearing, and then my brother's co-defendant, he had witnesses, or they were bringing up witnesses for and against, and they bring up this young girl. And first time I've ever seen her. First and only time in my life I'd ever seen this girl. About 15, 16 years old. And they started asking her questions. The DAs and the district attorneys and the police and the attorneys and all that back and forth, right? And I'm watching this. But like I was listening, but I wasn't really paying too much attention because it had nothing to do with my brother. You know what I mean? It was that was the other case.
The other case.
So, but I remember watching this girl, and she never said anything, man. They just tried to make her, say things they wanted her to say. But she just never said, no, I don't know. I didn't see anything. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That was like her only response. And during this, tell me that we don't get pulled out of the court, and LAPD, we get pulled out. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, well, we need your IDs. I go, for what? Oh, well, the district attorney says that you guys are intimidating the witnesses. I go, what? I go, how? I go, what do you mean? I go, it's me. I don't think of myself as an intimidating person. My friend, who I don't think is an intimidating person, and 2 girls, that's who you're intimidating people with?
Yeah.
You ain't got 7-foot people, 300 pounds. Like, I'm like, this is bullshit. So anyways, they pull our IDs and they take down our information. And I was like, man, how stupid is that? So we go back in, we finish watching all this going on, right? And I still remember, like, right when she was going to finish, my brother's attorney, just to put it on record, stood up, got behind my brother, where as he was sitting down, put his hands on his shoulders, and says, for the record, do you know my client? And I still remember, dude, I can see the girl look down at my brother, and she's looking at him. She's like, no, we never knew her, never saw her, nothing. That was the only one day I saw her. Okay, so that happens. And then 2 weeks later, my good friend that was with me in court, rolls up to our job. And this guy is a jokester, and he's always bullshitting and all this.
Yeah.
He drives up, and man, he has the look on his face like he's seen a damn ghost. So I remember I looked at him and I go, "What's up?" I walked up to the car. I go, "What's wrong?" And he's just like, "Damn, look!" And he like hands me a newspaper, and is talking about that this witness to a murder case gets murdered.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, "And why you tripping?" And he's like, "Don't you remember they took our IDs?" Hey man, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, what the hell? I'm like, then it really like at first I was like, "What are you worried about?" And then I was like, "Wait, well you're right." And dude, I was like, okay, I thought about it maybe like for a week or two, but then I'm like, nothing's gonna happen. So that was like the end of May 03. And then you fast forward 3 months. August 12th what's that?
August 12th of
03.
03.
Of 03, that's what you're talking about. So the day before, so it would be August 11th, I was trying to go to sleep. I had broken up with my girlfriend and 2 daughters at the time. And I had this weird dream, man. Like of just, I don't know. I tell people that it's like UFOs, but I don't know, like goblins, like some weird, something, I don't know, something strange. And they were trying to take me away. Like, like somebody was trying to, kidnap me or put me away or something. And I was like, what the hell? And I remember I woke up like, what the fuck was that? And I remember I called my girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend, and I told her, I go, "Hey man, I just had a weird dream. I go, can you come over and bring the kids? Let's all just come over." And she's like, "Oh no, I'm not going to go over. The kids are asleep. This and that." Dude, just from persistence, I'm telling her, come on. She goes, "Okay, fine." She goes, "I'll take Mariah because Melissa's asleep. Mariah doesn't go to sleep." I go, "All right, fine, come." So she came over, and that made me feel like more comfortable. And we just went to sleep. And then the next morning, I still thought about that dream. And I told her, I go, "Man, what a trip, man." I go, shit was weird. And then I told her, "Hey, can you drop me off at work?" And, she goes, "Yeah." And we all got up, walked outside the house. And I didn't pay attention at that time, like to the street. But there was cars there already at the ends that I didn't notice. Alma noticed them. I didn't. So, I hadn't done shit. So, fucking, we get into
it.
Yeah. So, we get into the car. And, our job was probably like less than 5 miles away. Not too long, 5-10 minutes. And she had noticed because she told me later that there was cars when she would switch lane, they switch lanes. When she turned right, they turned right. And we get to our job, and she pulls into the parking. And right as she parks, I'm in passenger, right? Our daughters, our 5-year-old daughter's in the back seat, and Alma's driving. So as we're talking, I just out the corner of my eye, I saw the mirror, and like a car, like crazy, like in a crazy manner, like cut us off or like blocked the Tahoe. We were in a Tahoe, and I saw that, and I remember, I go, "Who the fuck is this? Like, who? It's 8 a.m. or something."
What's up,
and I opened the door, like kind of pissed, like, "What's up?" And as soon as I opened the door, man, I just like bro, right to my dome. Like I thought I was dead. Like, bro, this dude that just no type of uniform, no nothing.
He's
just
regular,
like a regular
civilian clothes.
Yeah, a white guy, just like with like shades. And I was like, what? My life flashed before me right there.
Yeah.
Like I was done. I couldn't believe it. And in a matter of seconds, just because they try and confuse you. They try and create chaos to just confuse you. And they started yelling. And then like I was surrounded. They're like, get down. And I got down. And at this point, Alma's freaking out. My daughter's crying in the back seat. That made me really angry. And all the commotion, like my pops always goes,
Did you already know they were at this time? Did you already know there were cops?
No.
Still no badge.
No, not at all. So all this commotion is going on, and my pops, like all our pops, wake up early. They want to be the first ones at work.
Oh yeah.
And I guess my dad heard everything that happened, and he pokes. I remember he opened the door, and as soon as he opened the door, I remember I looked up, and I like, was like, Dad, look what they're doing to me. And they yelled at him to close the door. Like, close that door. And they closed it. And then as they handcuffed me, then somebody came with like a, just like a, what is it, 8x10 or 8x11 sheet of paper.
Mm.
And they had my face on it, dude. And right there is when I was like, wait a minute, these guys are cops. And I was like, what the fuck? I go, why are they getting me like this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was put up on my feet. How embarrassing, bro. I still remember all my neighbors that I've known for years and years. And we get along with everybody.
Mm.
So they were just like, I remember their facial expressions were like, man, who's our neighbor?
Yeah.
Man, these guys, he's a heavy hitter or something, criminal mastermind. And they put me in like this, like a little SUV back seat, tinted windows.
Mm.
And I'm like trying to ask what is going on here.
Trying
And
to get some
nobody,
type of
and
answers.
nobody, man, none of those guys gave me an answer. They're like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And at the end, from asking so many times, their only response was, detectives want to talk to you. That was the only answer they gave me. I go, for what? Oh, we're going to take you down there right now. So they held me there for, I don't know, about 30, 40 minutes in that car by myself. I was in the back seat. And then after I guess they were done there searching the property there, our job,
Mm-hmm.
2 guys get in the front and then 2 guys get in the back, and I'm in the middle.
So actually, they
Shackled
went
up.
inside your job and started searching?
And they're searching, yeah. But I didn't know for what at the time. So again, my family would tell me this later, but I'm telling you as it's happening, I didn't know, but I was told later.
Mm.
So I get driven down to the North Hollywood police station, and they take me in. They put me into the cells, I guess the holding cells in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it seemed like I was there for an eternity, bro. Like I just hours upon hours, and I still remember the only damn thing that's in there. That place is fucking cold. It's nothing but brick, and then they got like a metal stainless steel bench that I would like sit and like lay down and stand up, and I just couldn't. I was just like trying to figure out what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I can hear from the cell. I believe I was in the first one or second one, but when anyone came in that door where I came in, where they put me through, you can hear the door open and close. So there's like, some time had passed and I hear someone open the door, and then they tell somebody else, who do we got back there? And then the response to him is like, oh, well, we just have a 187 suspect. What the fuck? Like, I'm like, I'm the only one back here that I knew of.
Yeah.
So right there and then I'm like, 187 suspect? What the fuck? I go, there's an error here. There's something wrong, really wrong. And some more time passed, and then they finally came and got me. They came to get me, and they put me in that interrogation room that we all have seen in movies.
Yeah.
That with that
The
glass
glass
that's just
window.
looking at each other. You got the table and everything there, and a door. And I'm just they put me there for, I don't know, 30 minutes. And what it is they study you on the other side. They want to see what your movements are. I've read about this. And, it's you just want to see how you're reacting, you know what I mean? Your body language. So they finally come in and, they're like, okay. And as soon as they walked in, I go, hey man, what's going on? And they're just like, oh, well, we want to ask you that. We got a couple questions. Okay. I go, what? And they're like, oh, hold on. Try to keep it cool. Like at first we need, basic information. What's your name? Where you work at? You got tattoos? All this stuff. And what they do is, and something else that I read about, they want to create like some type of
like a profile?
like a friendly atmosphere for you to open up to them is what it is. I forgot what the term is, but they want you to feel comfortable or whatever. Like if they were your friends.
Yeah.
In some weird fucked up way. And so I answered all their questions. Like, okay, what happened? What's happening here? I go, hey, you guys are really, spooking me out. And he was just like, well, you're here, and then they showed us a flyer. They showed me a flyer. So before we had seen a flyer going around a few weeks prior, they had put down this flyer of who they thought it was a sketch of the shooter who had killed the girl, the witness. And I never in a million years thought that guy looked like me, but I don't know. The police and the district attorney thought that was me, and they put that flyer right they slide it right in front of me, and I'm like, "What's this?" And they're like, "Well, that's you." I go, "What?" I go, "You're being arrested for the murder of Martha Puebla." I fucking I went silent for just in disbelief, bro. Like I couldn't believe what was happening. And they started making these bullshit,
So did the picture even look like you?
Remarks. I don't think so. But then again, people have said, let's go to downtown LA and we're gonna pick out 1,000 guys that look like that, It's a Hispanic guy with the mustache, like hair, short or yeah, I think short hair. And I mean, like,
that could be anybody.
It could be anybody, man. So, so they started making these like crazy remarks, like saying, everyone makes mistakes. Just tell us you did it, and we'll tell the judge that to take it easy on you. And I go, you guys got the wrong person. And they're like, nah, no, it's you. And then they put 6-packs. You know what a 6-pack is? It's a sheet of paper with 6 different pictures of different people, and they place them in front of victims or witnesses mugshots to see if they seen whoever perpetrators or whatever, the person who committed the crimes, whatever. So they showed me 2 or 3, and each one had my face circled on it, and then like a comment, like, "This is the person I saw shoot my neighbor." And then another one in Spanish said, "Este es el tirador," like, "This is the shooter," and like crazy stuff like that. And I was like, "What is this?" "Oh, these are people that saw you do it." And I go, "That's impossible." I go, this is wrong. I go, "I don't know what's happening here." I go, "This is not," I started getting angry. I go, and the guy's like, "Nah, you did it. You did." I go, "Hey, man, stop fucking saying that." I told the detective. I go, "Those are strong words." And he's like, "Well, convince us otherwise." I go, "What do you mean fucking convince you otherwise? I didn't do it." I go, "What do you want me to say?" I go, "It wasn't me." "Oh, where were you?" I go, "Where was I?" 3 months ago. I go, I don't know what I did 3 days ago. I go, "How am I going to know what I did 3 months ago?"
Damn.
I don't know. And they're like, they wanted me actually to tell them where I was, because they say that if you tell them where you were, then how did you know? Their comeback is, how did you know where you were?
There.
You know what I mean? So it's like they try and confuse you, which is, bullshit. And I told them, you know what? I go, "You guys got the wrong person." I go, "Please don't do this." I go, "I'm a working man." I go, "I take care of my family. I may have, done some bullshit as a young kid." I go, "But this is not me." I go, I'm not capable of doing this. I told them, and they weren't buying it. I even asked them, actually, what actually surprised me, like big time, was I asked them to give me a lie detector test, and they denied it. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah,
They'll be like, "Okay, we'll prove it. We'll give you a lie detector test." And no, I want a lawyer. And I was doing all this without a lawyer, which my lawyer later said, told people in interviews like, Juan, stood his ground and went, toe to toe with these incompetent clown detectives, because usually it'll backfire you when you try and have a conversation with them, because they're trained to wrap your words around, what they want to and do. There's cases and, people that were innocent, but the detectives twisted their words to end up saying, "You know what, I did it."
Wow.
So, bro, I would just, I tell people, and they're like, "Man, how'd you do it?" or whatever. And I'm like, well, I mean, I was just being honest. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I just told them, "Hey, don't do this. Don't do this to me." I go, you guys are making the biggest mistakes of your careers. Don't do this." And nah, man, they said no. And I was sent away, and I was booked for murder, bro. 187 with special circumstances, which is that carries what was it? Murder with the attempt or committing murder with the intent, lying in wait, like you waited for the victim. You know, it wasn't like you just walked up and just
It was
decided
like a
to.
stakeout.
Yeah, like a stakeout, like a hit kind of, sort of, you know, and that carries the death penalty. If can get you the death penalty if you're convicted. And that shit scared the shit out of me, man. Like, I'm like, man, this is not happening. And I was sent down to the county, and I was booked for 187. They wrote it all across my right here with the big old black marker, 187. Like, nobody wanted to come near me. Even the big OGs were like, damn, like they were like, you know, moving away from me. It's like, yeah, it just seemed like almost like a movie, kind of. Seriously.
So how long did the interrogation last?
There with the detectives,
Mm-hmm.
probably like, I'd say like less than an hour.
Less than an hour.
Less than an hour.
And after the hour,
And I had already been held, like, I want to say like 6 hours, and they had never read me my rights, which everyone knows is freaking, you know, violation.
That's the first thing you do.
Man, so, you know, I'm telling you, it just, you know, these guys, I don't know, man. We're all brought up to think that, you know, the cops are the good guys, but, you know,
Not all the time.
No, not all the time, man. And I know it's not all, I know all cops, but, you know, the bad ones make these good ones, give the good ones a bad reputation.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got, you know, people, you know, all the, just think of all the, I'm gonna say the last couple of years with all the injustice that's gone on in our beautiful country, but, you know, if you really think about it and look into it, I mean, goes back.
Man.
Goes back.
Who knows how many people have died and were innocent.
Exactly.
You know, and died behind bars.
You know what? When I say, you know, my story, you know, my situation is just one of thousands. To really, honestly, like, my attorney gets letters all the time from, hey, I'm innocent, help me. And it's just like so many letters, and it's just like he doesn't have the capability to, you know, go into these, you know, cases. If, you know, there's an innocence project that look upon people's cases, and they look for certain factors and details, and if they deem that, you know, your case, you know, does have a shot, they will look at it, look into it, you know.
Mm.
So, you know, God bless those people, because I mean, you know, when I got sent in there and I got that 187, I have the bracelet on and everything. I was even put into, you know, they call the solitary confinement, man, the high power with like the big shot collars, man. And I'm like, man, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, you know, that shit was just my world got turned upside down. And, you know, all I could think about was, you know, these cases of, you know, I see them on Netflix. You got a bunch of documentaries of people 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, man, died in prison, innocent, after DNA, you know, evidence was presented and all this. And, man, I can't tell you what oh, man, it's like I don't even want to say it's a frustration. It's like a desperation, bro. Like, you can't, you know, I wanted to run out of there, you know, tell them like, hey, man, all right, I want to go home. This is, all right, this is, you know, is this over? Or you guys stop playing, you know, like.
Joke's up, man.
Joke's up, man. And man, I ain't going nowhere. I had no bail.
Straight up, as soon as the interview was over, they cuff you and they tell you you've been charged with murder.
I saw a judge 3 days later, and I remember I saw the public defender. You get you go into like a little chamber to talk to your attorney before you walk into court and see the judge. And, you know, I remember this public defender, and looks at me, because I'm pretty sure they got like hundreds of cases or whatever, and he looks at me, whatever, and then he starts reading my case, and then he looks up at me like, well, they're saying that, you know, you killed this 16-year-old girl. And I'm like, not me. I go, I'm innocent. And he's like, you know, like, he was like almost stunned. And, you know, he's like, well, nothing's going to happen right now. You're just going to plead guilty or not guilty in front of the judge. And we went in there. As soon as I walked into court, there was a news camera like right on me.
Wow.
And we found out later that night, that the family watched me on like one of the local news channels. Oh, man arrested for the murder of a witness. So now I got family members calling my parents like, "Hey, did Juan do this?" Like, I mean, that shit hurt. I don't know what, if who didn't know me or what, but it was tough, man. It was tough. And then walked out of court, and then I got shackled, man. Kind of like you seen Con Air.
Yeah.
You see how they shackle them up? I got shackled like that, and I got put in a cage inside the bus, and that's when I was like, okay, all right, this shit's real. Like
It just started sinking in.
It started sinking in, man.
Damn.
I couldn't.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. You're over here telling these people, say, man, I'm innocent. And they just looking at you like, nah,
No.
this is you.
Yeah. This
You know
is
what I mean? I mean, so what happens after they take you to, I guess, when you're after the bus?
Took me to downtown, to the county. Everyone, Men's Central Jail, downtown LA. And, you get there and it's a processing, just long, just tiresome, just a process, man. You're in there with hundreds of inmates, some people that are homeless, just reeking, bro. Man, just, bro, jail that's not for humans, man. It's a shithole. That so you go through this processing, and then you get interviewed by the sheriffs who run the jail there, and they start asking you questions like, so are you suicidal? Do you have enemies? Or do you fear for your life? So these questions are like more like, they're shaking you up more than bringing some type of confidence. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I answered all their questions, and at the end, the guy's like, "Come here," and just with one of those big black markers, just wrote 187 right here across my hand here, and people didn't even want to get next to me, and after everyone's being done interviewed, they put you like in a bigger room, but they shove you in there like animals, bro, like a herd of cows or something.
Yeah.
Like everyone get in there and they're like, get butt naked now. So, bro, some of the foulest smells that you could just imagine, bro. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I was mad. And then they take you out and you just go in through the to the showers next, and I mean, that was foul. As you're showering, everyone, you take your turn. The plumbing fucking sucks. So you're showering in like calf high, dirty water from everybody, of him. Nasty. I'm telling you, man, just
nasty conditions.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't wish this on the worst, man. Just nasty, and then you just keep moving on. They give you your county clothes, your blues, your county blues, they call them, and then you start going through like what's it called, like kind of health checks. They want to make sure you don't have tuberculosis, because that's like, it spreads high, and just other stuff. And finally, it just seems like a forever that they finally, give you a cell. And even when you get to the cell, I was put in a dorm there should only be like 50, 60 inmates. There's about maybe double that, 100, 120 inmates, man. So you had like triple tiers of bunks on just full, and then people on the ground with mattresses on the ground.
Damn.
And I started on the ground with the mattress. All the new booties, go in there, and as they get to know you and everything, you know who you are, and all right, well, here you got a bed, and
Get a bunk.
you get a bunk and all that, and let me tell you that the racial tension in there is
Something
some of the
else.
biggest fucking bullshit, man. It's terrible, man. It's terrible, man. Everybody's at each other's throats, and people fighting 25 years to life, and angry at their lawyers, at their girlfriends, at life, man. So at any moment, just anything can pop off, man. It's just
At high tensions.
at all times.
Man. So did you think like, man, I'm never gonna get out of here?
At first, like, I had hope, like, man, this will go over. I didn't do it. Well, there's no way no, it's not, can't happen. And after a month, then after 2 months, then after 3 months. And damn, man, I'll be honest, like I felt, like I was in a darker and darker place. I didn't see, you know, like I didn't see an exit. I didn't see the light. And I think, talking to my kids who were little at the time, my two girls, Melissa and Mariah, they helped a lot. That cheered me up.
Mm.
I'm talking to Alma and all that, and just telling her to get out. But the one person that I was able to talk to that would comfort me was my mom, because my mom would read scripture to me and tell me about like the Psalms. There's certain Psalms that I still read to this day that that helped me through that situation.
That at one point when she would read scriptures, did you ever feel like, why am I here?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
question God as far as?
totally. I don't know if I questioned God, but I sure did ask him why. Why. I told my mom, and my mom would say that God won't allow this to happen. Like the truth will prevail, truth will come out. And my mom would tell me, read this and read that, and I would read it in there, man, because in the Bible you get a Bible, you're allowed a Bible. And I it got to a point that I felt that the Bible was talking to me. Like I felt it, man, like I really did.
Mm.
And it was comforting. And there's two places that unless you want to be in a dorm cell or in a 4-man cell, two places you can go in jail is to school and to church. And I went to both. I went to to church to pray, to
So at this time when you're in there already, what, 3 months?
yeah, well,
Did it go to trial, or
oh no, it was just court.
you just waiting on your court date?
Court date. Just had a court date after court date after court date, because the attorney, my amazing attorney, best friend Todd Melnick, he was trying to piece my
But you're already
my
linked up
alibi.
with the lawyer already.
Yeah. At 3 months, yes, we had already linked up because of when all that happened and I got arrested. I thought of him because of our cousin, Chuck, always, working for, he would always say, man, this badass, high profile attorney, he's badass, and this and that.
So
I'm
Chuck
like, "All right,
actually
cool."
worked for him?
Yeah, he was a filing clerk.
Oh, shit.
And Todd remembers him. He remembers him clearly. And, just from the conversations of from the family, I remembered, I told my family, hey, you guys got to contact him and let him know that I want to talk to him. I want to see if he can help me. And when I talked to him, and he's like, oh, well, I'm in Canada right now or something, golfing. He goes, but I'll be back next week. I'll come and see you. I think at one point I was at in Castaic, which is Wayside. Mm-hmm. They can transfer you from there into the Men's Central in LA County. So at that point when Todd had came back, because it wasn't maybe like a month, I think I hired Todd. Within a month of being arrested, he went to go see me there. And when I told him the story, like his eyes were just like just so big, and he's like, the words that came out of his mouth, I can't tell you how much comfort it gave me. He just said, I'm gonna get you out of there, and pointed at me. And I was just like, I felt like relief, like thank you, like somebody believes me, other than my family. And as time went on, and I told them all the details of what I knew at certain points, he was just working and working. But going back to church and school, I go to church to pray, and then I went to school just to try to feel normal again. But the things that they teach you in there is just like things that were taught in 4th, 5th grade. Damn. And that actually made me reflect on my education at that point, because I never graduated from high school. And I felt at that time that I had was just wasting time, because I was 23. And up until like 16 to 23, like those 7 years were wasted. I never graduated from high school. Like I said, I lost interest, and, I started doing things I shouldn't. And, but right there and then I made a decision. I promised God and myself that if I ever got out, I'd go back to school and get my education and do it the right way.
So, with that being said, you was telling me that you actually did you, or you're about to get your bachelor?
I'm about to get my bachelor's.
Hey,
Somebody from, hey
congratulations,
man,
bro.
thank you.
You know,
Thank you, man.
I salute you on that one. You know, I personally myself, I didn't graduate from high school either.
Yeah.
You know, got into some dumb shit,
Yeah.
and we usually derail from our path.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Easy. It's easy to.
because I mean, I was a good student. You know what I mean? But it was those acquaintances
Yep.
that it helped me derail from where I should have headed, where I should have gone. You know what I mean? Because I had it up here.
Yeah.
It just,
A ship can't sink if you don't let the water in, bro. Once you get those negative influences in your life, they sink you, man. They
but I
sink you
mean,
the
but
wrong people.
that's dope, bro. That you reflected on that at that moment,
I did.
and you decided to do something about it.
Yeah, because I had 2 girls at the time, remember? So, when they were born, I said, man, I'm going to protect them, like a lion protects their cubs, I want the best for them and teach them and guide them. But I didn't have no education myself, so how was I supposed to do that? You can't teach somebody something you're not taught.
Yeah.
So, and when when I made that decision, I just, I'm jumping ahead, but, it's a decision that I made that I can't tell you is like one of the proudest accomplishments of my life that I did.
Hell yeah, man. So, how much longer till you finish?
I think I need about a little bit under 30 units.
Oh, really?
I got my associate's degree. I actually got like 3 associate's degrees, which I don't even know how I got, but they're like, I was taking all the classes that I was told to take.
So was this after, or you got some of those while you were in?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. This was after the case.
After.
Yeah, this is after the case. Yeah. In there, I've heard, which sucks, that I think they actually stopped inmates from pursuing higher education, which is why. You want to ask the question, why? If you, like you were saying earlier, no one's perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes, but if you don't give these people a second chance, like how do you expect them to, re-enter society?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that always gets me about the system. The system wants you to become a productive member of society, but they're not willing to forget, oh well, nah, he's still a criminal. Nah, they don't believe in this. You can rehab from that.
Yeah.
Turn something bad into good.
That's wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's one thing that I've always, disliked about the system. The system wants you, it's like, yeah, you go out there and you become a productive member of society, law-abiding citizen. But how? You can't even get a job. The doors start closing left and right.
Totally. And just hearing it from people coming out of prison that they want to rehabilitate their life, for their family, for their parents, loved ones. And it's messed up. It's messed up that, that those walls go up for them. And, people say, oh, well, a lot of people, you always hear that our justice system is broken. But I mean, someone like myself, like, I think about it, and people that have been to similar situations, I think we can agree that maybe it's not broken, but it was designed that way. Because who is the majority of people in prisons?
Minorities.
No?
Yeah.
So, that's just, it's a fucked up reality that, certain people, get certain penalties more severe than others.
Yeah.
And others just get, slap on the wrist or something like that. But, I think change is something that I know it doesn't come from one day to the next, but I don't know. I think we need just some forward thinking and stuff like this, because I hear from other countries, they don't treat people that, commit crime the way they treat people here. I mean, here they want to throw you away and lock the key, and in other countries they don't send you to jail; they'll send you to rehab. And they're like, okay, there's an issue here. There's what is the issue? Everyone sees what did the person do, and yeah, I mean, I get it. Some people do horrible things, man. I know it. I get it. But there's a reason that I don't think somebody gets out of bed and says, I want to go murder this person. It's not a normal thing to think. So, and in those countries that they do that, man, they don't rot them away, lock them up in jail and let them rot. They help them, and that just, their crime rates fall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why they don't see that here in this. We're living in the greatest country in the world, man.
There's a lot of things in the system that definitely needs repair.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Definitely. So Todd, so he was actually a host, right?
Yeah, he started as a host for.
Was he already an attorney before he was a host, or
he came out of law school, and then right away he says he went into the district attorney's office. So he started prosecuting cases, not defending the cases, and somewhere in between there, I don't know, he got invited. Oh, I think he started with the O.J. Simpson case, he said, and they invited him as an analyst. And then the next thing you know, he's on Access Hollywood. I don't know if you remember. No, I'm sorry, not Access Hollywood. It's the no, I forgot what the other one was called, but there was a show that it would
the Unsolved Mysteries.
No, not Unsolved Mysteries. I can't remember what it was. Hard Copy.
Hard Copy.
You remember that show?
Yeah.
So it had a crime case and all that, and he was the host, which was pretty cool. And that's how he started, little by little. That with the O.J. Simpson case, he started, gaining, publicity and all this for, knowing, he knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up starting his own practice. And man, that guy was born to be an attorney, man. He goes above and beyond what he should, because there are lawyers that will take your money and run with it and not give a shit of what happens to you.
What's your outcome?
What your outcome is, man. Todd is what a lawyer, he represents what a lawyer is and what a lawyer should strive to be. All these young people coming out of law school, I mean, they need to see his career, because and every time you ask them that, like, man, you did all this, and people would message me, like, Todd, went above and beyond, and I ask him, hey, Todd, they want to know, and he's just like, his response is, I'm just doing my job. And you know what? And if we had people in authority and in the government and in the state to do exactly that, just do your job. We wouldn't have so much bullshit and so many problems in society. I really believe that.
Yeah, it's crazy, because some of these, is it cops, doctors, they actually take an oath
to do right.
To do right.
To
exactly.
defend, the innocent and to protect. That's an oath.
Yeah.
So, I forgot what movie it was, but this guy was being accused of a bomber. I don't remember if you remember that movie. I forget what the name was, but him growing up, he always wanted to be a cop or something like that, or FBI or something like that. But
is it the one with the Atlanta bombing?
Yeah, the Atlanta bombing. Remember that?
With the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that part?
Yeah.
When he looks up to these guys as heroes, bro, which they should be, and then they try and flip it on him when he was innocent. And I remember he said something like, I think he pointed to the SEAL when he walked out of the interrogation after them, and he's like, you guys should be holding this. You guys are meant for justice, and you guys are not doing your job. Like, just do your job, man. That's just, I don't know how else better to say it, man. Just do your job. Everybody, from district attorneys to police to judges to, politicians to senators to, president, everybody, man. Everybody just do your damn job. There's so many issues here that, people should have, access to, medical insurance. That should be like a given, man. That should be a given to citizens.
Oh, yeah.
Just certain things like homelessness and, there should be we're the richest country in the world. Nobody should go hungry here in this world. It just, in our country, man, but I don't know. It just seems like sometimes a mountain that just, oof.
Yeah.
So
how did it feel that, your Dodger Blues is kind of like, because that's how I look at it,
What?
Dodgers is kind of like, you could say, if it weren't for that game, You know what I mean? I don't think we'll be having this conversation right now. You know, I think it totally would have gone a different way. We would have probably had a different outcome. What do you think?
I think, honestly, I think God put me there at that game because I wasn't supposed to go to that game.
Do you remember the game?
Yeah. Oh, dude, of course. Gagne, who was our closer in that time, like this guy was unstoppable. Like once he came in to close the game, it was like, I forgot how many in a row. I think he has the record for most, for closing how many games. I think he has a record for it. And so I had bought, what happened was that weekend, I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Atlanta Braves were here in LA. We're in LA. And at that time it was Maddox and Glavine. And I don't know how big of a baseball fan you are, but bro, I used to Andrew Jones and Chipper Jones, and those guys were a squad, man. They had won the World Series. It just were always a perennial threat, always. And I remember I bought tickets and I tried to play them off as a Mother's Day gift. My girl got hot. She's like, I don't like baseball. You like baseball. You bought these so we can go to the game. And, I was like, all right, guilty, guilty. And but the tickets I bought were for Wednesday. So the murder happened on Monday, May 12th. And tell me that one of our good customers from our business calls me up that morning talking about, hey, I got 4 tickets to the Dodgers Braves. You want them? And I'm like, are you kidding me?
You don't even have
to
ask.
Are you kidding me? Like, dude, say less. Like, say less. Like, I go, yeah, I'll take them. 4 with parking. The seats were unbelievable. Third base, field level. Like those are like the baller seats right there. Like the generations of of just fans that they pass through families.
Ticket holders.
Yeah. Season ticket holders. And I remember I took my daughter. Oh, I wanted to take Alma, and she's like, no. She goes, I don't like it. She's like, take Melissa, our oldest daughter. She was 6. And then I took our cousin Miguel. And I took...
Miguel was there too?
Yeah, Miguel was there. Oh, Miguel's there, yeah. He gave me his ticket. And...
was he on the...
He's in the picture. Look it up. Miguel's right there, yes.
Shit, I'm going to have to look at it.
And then my good friend Ruben, who was with me at the preliminary hearing the one time I told you about. And, dude, I was so excited. I'm like a kid, bro. I'm 43, but, man, I'm a little kid inside. And so it gets me, excited to... see my teams and, walking into Dodger Stadium, Dodger hat, jersey is just the fans. I just love it there, man. My second home. And to watch this great game. And I think we had Nomo. If you remember Nomo, I think Nomo was pitching that game. And, that we went back and forth. And the unusual thing, the crazy thing that happened during the game was the taping.
But did you already know they were taping?
There was nothing there when we got there. There was nothing. It was just like we had walked up to our seats and nothing. So we're just watching the game. And, my daughter wanted, soda, candy, something. And I said, all right, hurry up. Let's go. I don't want to miss more of the game. And as we got it, we came back. And then, it took us a minute because you got to wait in the stand, the lines for a minute. And when we came back, then the aisle was blocked. So you had cameras and... somebody was like walking up and down the stairs, but nobody else was. So I'm like, my first thought was like, how cool is this that they're filming something and they're in our aisle? I thought, it's dope.
Cool.
I'm like, let me see if I can get in here.
You get a 2
TV,
for 1.
yeah, something.
Yeah.
See how I can get in the TV, joking, right?
Yeah.
I have my daughter, and I'm trying to walk in front of the camera. The guy's like, hey, puts his hand out, and he's like, you mind waiting, a minute or 2? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm easygoing. I'm not, I'm gonna get upset for something. Try not to get too upset for something so small. And as we're waiting, I'm seeing this guy, this actor. I'm assuming he's an actor. He's coming up and down. They're filming him, cut all this stuff. They're yelling and I remember I was just looking on the game and the actor, and I could see the what are they called, PAs? I think they're called PAs, and the guy I remember he like looked up at me and, he looked at my daughter and, says, hey, go ahead, just go ahead or something.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, how dope is this? Like, I'm gonna walk in front of the camera. I go, I don't know if I'm gonna be in the shot, but
Yeah.
he's letting me. I don't know if they turned it off or whatever. Well, he messed up because when me and Melissa walked down, I cut off Larry David, who I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
And if you see the tape, like Larry, I think got pissed off because he walks up and then he just like throws his hands up in the air like, fuck, who?
They ruined my shot.
Yeah, they ruined my shot or
Yeah.
something, man. And I was like, oh shit. And I like grabbed my daughter and I sat down as quick as I could. And I just said, how cool is that? We're in the in the shot.
Yeah.
And, never did I think that, that was going to help, my alibi.
Mm.
And we just watched the rest of the game, and it was a crazy game. It went tied 4-4 in the ninth. And then the Brave Gagne came in, and I'm like, oh man, we got this. Hell no, they rocked them for like 6-7 runs, and we got blown out and we left. And then I was walking out at the stadium. Alma called me, and she said, where are you? I go, oh, well, we're just leaving now. And that was about 10, 11 or something. And they said that the murder had occurred like at 10:40 or something like that.
So it still ain't gone down yet.
No, not yet. Somewhere in between when we left the stadium and actually got to Miguel's house, because the girl lived right on Miguel's block.
Oh, really?
But we never, like I said, we never knew. Well, the way that their house was, their Case Avenue, and then it was Stagg and Keswick. So the girl, you had to cross, is that Keswick? Yeah, you had to cross Keswick, and then she lived still on the same block, but just you had to cross the street. So she was in one of those houses. And I only know that because I saw the pictures and then the address of the report and everything. But
and then she got murdered in the
right there, right in front of her house.
Wow.
And, but the crazy thing was when that night when we dropped them off, you would think, well, like once you make that left onto the street, like if anything is happening from there to the other side, even on hers, you'd see cops and all that, right? There was nothing. So the thing that I think scared me the most out of all this, and the only one thing that the fucking DA had right, was that I was in the area that night. And that shit, I don't think I'll ever get over that fact. That they're accusing me of this crime, and I was in the area.
Wow.
So isn't that a little, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that scared me, because when she said that in court, I'm like, she's right. The DA, the Silverman. And all I could think was like, man, if the judge says, oh, well, you have a point there. There is, by, Miguel's testimony and, and me telling them, Todd, that, I dropped off my cousin, I'm putting myself at the scene there through my witnesses, own testimony. And that shit scared me, man.
Wow, man.
So that I'll never get over. Like, what are the chances of that, right? There's just so many what ifs in that whole story. What if I wouldn't have gone to the game?
God.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
What if I would have left early? I mean, they were already contending that, but, for them, their theory was...
Or dude don't let you pass.
Or that. Or I never get on the TV. Exactly.
Wow.
Or what if I'm sitting 10 aisles down, left or right? I'm right on the aisle. There's 58,000 seats in that stadium. They picked this aisle that I'm sitting on with tickets that I received that day. You think that's a coincidence?
Man, it's crazy, bro. I mean, when you start looking at the big picture like that, it's like, man, I mean, I guess God had already set up the stage.
Everything.
To, I guess, what was gonna end up changing your life.
What was gonna take place? Yeah, that did change my life, man. That lit a fire under me. Like, I can't tell you. Like, I wanna be like, just do like greatness, man. Like, just and for not for myself. I want to do it for my family. For You know, anybody, I've been contacted from around the world, man, because of my story. I got friends all over the world, places that I've never been to, that they tell me, come over here, I got you.
Hey, it's funny. I remember I was watching TV. I think I was watching TV. You know, just a regular day, and then you know, this has happened several times in my life. Well, I'll be looking at TV, and I'll tell somebody that's next to me, it's like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's my homeboy right there on TV."
Yeah, are
You
you
know what I'm
serious?
saying? So
Yeah.
it's happened. You know, and so this is another incident.
Yeah.
You know, I remember. And I'm watching the TV and I'm watching this and then it's just they're talking about your story. And this is way before the documentary.
Yeah.
And even before I even knew.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute. They were like, Juan. And then it still didn't click and didn't register until they said your last name.
That caught your
When they
attention.
sent, I was like, hold on, let me see. And I kept watching. And then, sure enough, when they showed the picture, I was like, oh shit!
Say, I'll be damned.
I was like, I couldn't believe it, dude. And that's how I found out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know that was going on back home. You know what I mean? That's how I ended up finding out. And then that's how I knew about your story.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, after when I seen the documentary. You know, it just blew me away. I was like, oh, I had no idea. I had no idea whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of knew that, you know, you were accused and this and this and that. And then when I seen I want to say it was like
the preview?
It was like a news article or it was something on the news that they were specifically talking about your story. And then, like I said, when I seen the documentary, it was like, wow. I had no idea that the extent of everything that happened, and I mean, it was crazy.
And I'm telling you that it was when Netflix came into the project, it was they were ordered to trim it down to 40 minutes so that they can put it into the short documentary category. So we had like 2 hours of material that still exists of the case that a lot of people don't know about, but. It was, you know, had to be shortened into 40 minutes. So some things were, you know, held out. But like I told you earlier, for the most part, the main points were in there just to, you know, what happened, you know, how did I get out, and the end. That's it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So when
the documentary was very well done. Like it's amazing, the feedback, all the feedback that we received from the documentary, all positive. That's crazy. Like it's just, you know, we're rated on like on what is it, Rotten Tomatoes? Like we got a high score on Google. It's crazy, man.
It was funny because when people would tell me it's like about your story, and I just, you know, I'm already you can already see it.
You're waiting for them to.
And then a couple people, they were like, when they would tell me, it's like, that's my cousin. They're like, that's not your cousin. They're like, oh shit, yeah, y'all have the same last name. And I was like, damn, bro, where would you? You know, when did it was gonna hit? That's what we're waiting for. Let me see when it's gonna hit them that we got the same last name.
Oh, people that know you, right?
Yeah,
they know your last name.
You know, friends that have actually seen your story.
Yeah.
And you know,
they didn't make the connection?
Yeah, they didn't make the connection right away. They were just like, wow, that's an interesting story.
Well, I mean, our last name is not, you know, a typical, you know, it's not
typical.
Lopez, Gonzalez, you know, Garcia, whatever, but
your typical Mexican last name. So yeah, it's crazy, bro. You know, I have a lot of friends to this day, you know, they're like, hey, that's a crazy story, man. You know, people told me they've watched the documentary 2-3 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how much.
I've heard that a lot, man. I got that a lot.
And it's made an impact in a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know when I looked at it, you know, you know, I'm a sucker for, you know, documentaries. And when there's a story, when it's heartfelt, bro, you know, that's why I hate sometimes watching certain movies because, you know, hey, they flow out on their own. You know what I mean? And then they're like, "What? You're crying? That's cocoa." You know what I mean? And I'm like, I was like, "Hey, I don't control my emotions when because I guess what I do is I put myself in that actual person's shoes."
Yes.
So it's like when you're speaking in the documentary, it's like I was going through it.
Yeah.
You know, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
I put myself in the character's shoes and I'm like, wow. I mean, you know, I don't know if I would have been able to survive.
We've gotten messages of girls saying that their boyfriends who are, you know, these super tough, big dudes just breaking down, man. I was at a sandwich shop one day, and I just down by where we work. I ran down there just to pick up a sandwich. I was hungry for lunch, and as I walked in, there's a family. It's a wife, the husband, and a baby, and then a friend of theirs. And as I walked, I saw the guy look at me weird. So I go at the end of the line, and then I turn, and he's like, "It's you, it's you, it's you." And I was like, "Oh man!"
You're him.
I go, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And he's like, "Oh man, can I give you a hug?" And this is like full lunchtime, so there's like 20 people waiting, and they're like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
You know, he walks in, and this guy's going,
"Why is he trying to give him a hug?"
Yeah, why you want to give him a hug? "Yeah, what's up, bro?" And he's like, "Man," he goes, "Hey, this is my family." He goes, "I just had a baby. You know, my girls, we're gonna have another one. And you know what? I'm gonna behave because of you." That's what he told me. He goes, "I never wanna miss my daughter's like life for anything. And because of you, I'm gonna behave, bro."
Wow.
You know, and people are listening to this, my conversation with him, and I'm like, bro, he ended up working like at this like super high-end, expensive, like a lobster steakhouse. He's like, "Hey man," gave me his name. He's like, "You gotta come through. Like, I got you." And one day that I remember, I go, "Hey man, this guy I met." So I'm like, "Oh, let's go over there and let's go try this out." Hey man, this guy rolled out the red carpet, brother. Wow. Dude, champagne didn't stop flowing. Lobster, crab, bro. Like the VIP table, like they didn't. Oh man. I was like, wow, man, amazing, dude. People have picked up my tabs. They're like, servers will be like, they're like, "I'm sorry." I go, "I never do this, but I promise I won't say anything. I just watched the documentary. I got you." Like, man, bro, just like, I can't even tell you how humbling, like, I'm not a celebrity. I don't consider myself a celebrity. But to be recognized with people at a Dodger Stadium is even crazier because, you know, the Dodger fans, they recognize me more because I'm there at the game, and I'm a regular cat that just happens to have a documentary on Netflix.
So do you get VIP when you go to Dodger Stadium?
Man, the Dodgers I always get asked the question like, "Hey, did they give you season tickets?" I wish. Nah, no season tickets, but you know, that's my second home, and I support the Dodgers. I love the Dodgers, man. They're part of me now. You know what I mean? They were before. Now it's even
bigger.
It's to my core.
Yeah.
But
so when did they release you?
I was released about 6 months after I was initially arrested. So this was January of 2004, man.
2004.
El Día de los Reyes Magos, which, you know, in our culture. Yeah, dude. Three Kings. That my mom said that she prayed to God that was the only present she wanted. And I came home that day.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So was it true? The first thing you wanted when you got out was a
Coke. Yeah, that's what I wanted. But I had a soda for, 6 months, and shitty conditions in there, man.
I bet.
I wanted a soda, and my family took me to Carl's Jr. I got a Superstar, the biggest burger, the biggest fries, and a big Coke. And we went to go pick up my daughter.
So you chose Carl's Jr. instead of In-N-Out?
You know what? I just wanted a Coke. But they were the ones that took me to, In-N-Out. Yeah, In-N-Out's probably my favorite,
Well, over here we got Whataburger, man.
Yeah, so I got to try it.
I'm going to have to take you to Whataburger.
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
But yeah, man, that's our In-N-Out out here.
Oh, is it?
Even though we got In-N-Out out here already, they just came in a few years back, but You know, Texas loves their Whataburger.
Well, let me tell you, when I got here to the Dallas airport, the line I was like, what is this line for? And as I walked, it's for Whataburger. Man, it curled around, it snaked, and I was like, is it that good? So
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to have to try it now.
I mean, it's good. I mean, they...
Whataburger. It's only in Texas?
You know what? Nah, I think there's...
It's in Texas, and now it's in Chicago.
Yeah, because it was a company from Chicago that actually bought them.
You know what? That's where I seen it. Because I'm telling you, when I went to Green Bay to go with a Niner, a Packer, we stayed 2 days in there to watch the game, and then we came to Chicago to stay just 2 days to get to know the city too. And that's where I seen it, where I seen that Whataburger.
So that's the only reason why they're in Chicago now, because the company out of Chicago bought them. Yeah, so they're trying to expand. Yeah, you know what I mean. But you know, we'll see what happens.
Hopefully,
man.
I mean, I always say in food that if the food is good, that's it. That's probably the greatest marketing you can have. Because once one person tries it and tells someone else, that's it. You know, In-N-Out. Do you like In-N-Out, or you've had it, right?
Yeah, of course. You know,
I mean, that's one of our favorite.
I'd rather have than all the fast food chains. Yeah. I'd rather have Whataburger.
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but when it comes to In-N-Out and Whataburger,
I really want to try it.
You know what I mean? It's like, to me,
Yeah, because In-N-Out,
I like both.
In-N-Out is all fresh.
Yeah.
Like, their patties are never frozen. You know, their fries are cut up in front of you from fresh potatoes. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I love that freshness. Anything that you can eat the freshest, the better.
The better. Hell yeah, man. So, what do you have any major plans coming up soon, or?
As far as the regarding to the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the pandemic, took a hit, on a lot of things. We had like a lot of meetings, and actually had a contract in play, 2 contracts that the pandemic took under, because it was just a waiting game. People weren't meeting up, and you can't have meetings, you can't go forward without having meetings. So all we were hearing was like, we need time. We're like, nah, we gotta, we want to see this project for to what it is, something.
So I have heard, and it's not you told me, but I had heard that there was a possible movie somewhere in the maybe in the future.
Well, I mean, that's what's being talked about right now. Okay. Yeah, so we're now in discussions with another team and project. We're not, it's in discussions. That's what it is. So, hopefully, something great comes out in it. And if, just want to, like I said, for the most part, just, if it can inspire someone, motivate someone, give somebody hope. And, in my case, that's what I've hear from, people, and they tell me that, those are feelings that they get. I mean, that's a beautiful thing, especially in, in this world that can be, too negative sometimes. So, putting out that positivity, and, I'm all for that.
Well, I definitely hope that those plans do come to fruition, and you actually, they actually make your story into a movie, because I would love to see it.
Thank you, brother.
You know what I mean? I definitely, you know what I mean, will support you on that 100%.
Oh man, you guys,
because I mean, your story has, like I said, it's touched a lot of people. A lot of people that have known me, and they've actually seen your story. It's like, man, that's crazy, bro. The whole experience, everything you went through, bro. It's like they felt everything you were going through.
Thank you, brother. And just to say that if the audience loved the documentary, if this project does, happen, like, just be ready, because there's so much that was not in there that we will be able to to put in there, and just, man, I'm excited.
You heard it, man. Exclusive, man. That the movie, if it comes through, man, there's gonna be stuff that wasn't in the documentary. Of course, we're not gonna discuss none of that, because I'd rather wait for y'all to see it for yourselves in the movie. So, man, I wish you the best of luck, bro, and everything you do, man. Family, career, education, everything, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Your story, believe it or not, has inspired me too. You know what I mean? Not to turn back, go back to, the life that I used to live, but to live forward and enjoy life and enjoy the beautiful things that we have.
Hey, man.
Like family.
That's beautifully said. And just, I mean, everyone has ups and downs, some worse than others, but every day above ground is a beautiful day, man.
Of
mean,
course.
if you're breathing and walking, possibilities are endless, brother. That's it. It's hard work, dedication.
Yeah, so but yeah, man, I wanna thank you, the bottom of my heart, man, for you coming out here, man, and sharing the story with us and to the viewers, man. So we wish you the best, man.
Thank you, brother.
And
thank you for the invite. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man.
Do you have any shout outs you want to send out there?
No, man, just want to congratulate you on this podcast.
Hey, appreciate that.
Hey, man, I'm excited to roll through and just, be here, chop it up with you. I wish you much success, brother.
Thank you.
All the best to you and your fam.
And if you need an extra for the movie, man, hey, I can play
You
Cholo
ready?
number 2.
We'll call your agent, man. You got it.
Yeah,
you got it, brother.
Man. My brother say he's happy as long as he's a shadow.
Shadow.
You know what I mean? But man, it's all good, man. But man, like I said, thank you again for coming out here, sharing your story with the viewers, some of my viewers and listeners. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. And like I said, I'm gonna keep bringing y'all some interesting people with stories. Actors, rappers. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a story. So I'm gonna make sure that their story gets told. And like I said, I'm glad you was here to share your story. And make sure to check out The Long Shot on Netflix. Man, I'm telling you, you're not gonna regret it. It's a great documentary, and you make sure you catch it, man. As a matter of fact, after you view the show, make sure to catch it.
Just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the love. Check out my boy Elms podcast. Much love to everybody and respect.
Make sure to next week I should have Cat Daddy in the house. So, K104 disc jockey, he's gonna tell his story. It's been a big part of Dallas history, man. So y'all tune in, man. Welcome to Elm Street. Peace.
SourKidsProductions.